Shabbat Shalom. We had to rewire and redo the internet.
Not rewire, but
We had to fix the internet because it was messed up. It was going in and out. So we are at Exodus chapter 32. We're at Exodus chapter 32, verse 7. Okay. Go ahead,
And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of.
It said, and the Lord, and the Lord said unto Moses. So now Moses is in the mountain receiving the commandments of God, receiving the tablets, right?
Right.
While he's receiving the tablets, the people is committing atrocities at the grounds of Mount Sinai, at everything they done seen. People ask questions and say, how can these people turn on God after seeing all this? That's the question. How can these people, why would these people turn away from God after seeing all this? Yeah, you turned it over. You want to turn it back on?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Right? And we have no explanation. We have no explanation. Okay? After what the nation and these people went through, after things that they have saw all through the times that they've been in Egypt, all through the times that they have been in Egypt, right? They saw God's work. They saw his glory. They saw his power. They saw his mighty acts. They saw his excellent greatness. They saw all that. Then for them to turn on God, press Aaron, and have Aaron make and fashion a golden calf, that's on them. Right? So he said, the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. Right? He said they have corrupted themselves. Now, what do you mean by corrupt? How do we corrupt ourselves? Let me say some children. Say that. How do you corrupt ourselves? How do you corrupt yourself? The word for corrupt is shakat. Right? Shakat. Shakat means to corrupt. Now, how do we corrupt ourselves? We corrupt ourselves by changing from good to bad. By changing from good to bad in what? In your morals, from changing from good to bad in your manners, from changing from good to bad in your actions. Okay? In your actions. That's one. Another way of corrupting yourself is to degrade. To degrade with unsound principles or moral values.
okay.
To degrade with unsound principles or moral values. Right? Right? Now, what are your morals? Your morals is a person's standards. Your morals is a person's standards of behavior or belief. Your morals is a person's standards. The standards are what you go by, right? Right? Your standards or your moral belief. Moral belief. Okay? Now, what are your standards? Your standards is what you live by. How you live. What guides your life? What guides your path? Okay? Those are your standards. And my standards is based upon the laws and the commandments of God. Those are my standards. What are your standards? Because not everybody have different standards that they live by.
Yeah.
Everybody have different standards that they live by. Some people got their own standards. Huh? Some people come up with their own standards in life. And they don't allow themselves to be corrected or rebuked or told about their standards that they stand by, but it's not right by God. So the standards that you live by, it don't got to be correct. It don't got to be right. Okay? Let's read. Now, hold up. One minute. Right? Morals is a person's standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is concerning standards or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable by God. Huh? That's your standards. Your standards and belief is concerning what is and what is not acceptable for them to do. Concerning what is not acceptable by God. And that's your standards and that's your beliefs. That's what those are all based on your morals. So when you regard and you have high morals, huh? When you live your life according to your morals, you're not going to do certain things that's going to turn you away from God. You're not going to do certain things that's going to cause me to sin against God. Huh? I'm not going to put myself in a predicament, in those type of predicaments. Okay? What are manners? Manners is what? Is what? A person's way of behaving towards others. A person's way of behaving towards others. Okay? That's your manners. Now you have what you call unsound principles, right? That's one of the definition of corrupt. Your unsound principles are what? Unsound principles, unsound manners, and actions is when your principles, manners, and actions are contrary. When your principle, manners, and actions is contrary from God's, from the Most High's godly principles, manners, or actions. When it's opposite and contrary to that, that's when you have unsound principles. Okay? Let me see where I'm at. All right, verse 8. Now
they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it.
He said, what? They have what?
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf.
They have turned aside out of the way which I have commanded them. We have turned away from God, which I have commanded them. And what? And they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I have commanded them.
They have
made them a molten god, a molten calf, and a Gal Maseka, and they worshipped it. And that sacrifice
thereunto,
and said, what?
These be thy gods, O Israel.
Said, these be thy gods, O Israel.
Up out of the land of Egypt.
Such abominable words. Such blasphemous words. He said, these be thy gods. Forget about the creator. Man, God ain't the creator. The Most High ain't do this. He said, this deity right here is what did it. He said, these be thy gods that put you up out of the land of Egypt. Such blasphemous words. Why do we continue to give the credit to deities? Huh? Why? We have a hard problem giving God his credit.
It's easy to believe in deities. Huh?
It's easy to believe idols and deities and people and man and woman and myths. Stories. But to believe God, we have a problem believing God.
Yeah, they doubt
but to believe God, we have a doubt. We doubt God, but we don't doubt what man say. We don't doubt what women say. We don't doubt what people say. We don't doubt idols and deities and
Take
all
that.
these scientists.
Yeah.
And we don't doubt YouTube.
Yeah.
We don't doubt what we see on
Yeah.
Facebook. We don't doubt nothing. We don't
Yeah.
doubt nothing. Google. We don't doubt Google. But we doubt God.
Yeah. Quick to doubt.
We quick to doubt God.
Quick to shoot.
You
Believe
don't
Google,
see we
believe
have a
Google
problem.
over God.
You don't see that we have a problem with that? You don't see that's a psychological problem? You know why we doubt God? You know why we doubt God? Because you never believed him in the first place.
That's right.
That's why we are able to doubt God. That's why we can read certain things in the book and tell God that he's wrong.
That's right.
We don't tell God that he's wrong. We don't say, oh, God, I think you're wrong for saying this. Your actions prove it. Your negative reaction according to the laws and the commandments of God proves that you're telling God that he's wrong for coming up with this law or with that law or with this statute or that command. Let's read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked
You
people.
see what God said? He said, oh, Lord. He said, man. He said, Moses. He said, out of all these years of dealing with these people, I have acknowledged and I have seen these people, that these people is stubborn. What verse is that?
Verse 9.
Yeah. He said, I have acknowledged that, man, these people is stubborn, man. He said, behold. He said, these people, behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Huh? Now, a stiff-necked person, huh? A stiff-necked person is a proud person. Huh? A stiff-necked person, a stubborn person is proud. You hear what I'm telling you? When you're stiff-necked and you're stubborn, you're proud. You can't serve God being proud. You can't serve God being stiff-necked. You can't serve God being stubborn because you have a problem yielding. You won't give in. You won't yield to the service and the command of God. Right? The only thing that counts is you. And only you. And you is always right. Have you ever formulated anything in your mind that I could have been wrong? Huh? Did that thought ever come in your mind that I could have been wrong? But your pride and the hate of being wrong, you don't want to seem wrong, so therefore you stand on it. But you're standing on things that's going to cause you hurt. Right? A stiff-necked person is proud. Right? Because you become unwilling. Because you become unwilling to do the will, to do the laws, to fulfill the laws and the commandments of God. Huh? You become unwilling to do the right thing, to do the just and right thing. Sometimes it ain't got to do with offending God. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with the law. Just by you being stiff-necked and proud and stubborn, you become unwilling to do the right thing. So I won't come to you and apologize. I won't come to you and acknowledge my fault because I'm stiff-necked and I'm stubborn. And I won't yield to that which is right according to what God said or according to the thing that is right. Time sheet.
Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them.
You hear what
that
God
I may
said?
consume them.
I said, you heard what God said? What verse was that? 10. Read it over.
Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them.
He said, now, therefore, told Moses, he said, leave me alone, Moses. Leave me alone. Stop trying to talk up for these people. Stop, Moses. Leave me alone. Look what these people is doing. He said, right now, when you're up here talking to me, he said, these people is down there worshiping and giving my glory and my praises to a mask of a calf, the golden calf. He said, I just told you. He said, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, Moses. Right?
That I may consume
That I
them,
may consume them.
and I will make of thee a great nation.
And I'm going to make a nation out of you. I'm going to wipe these people out. These people is no good. God knows that. Only God knows that. Huh? The people had no good in them. Let's listen to this. The people, or people in general, has no good in them. And it shows in their actions. If you had, and it shows in the decisions that you make. If you had any ounce of good in you, it will hold you back from making certain decisions that's gonna get in the way of you serving God.
That's right.
You're gonna leave a little space to think, a little space to allow yourself to think about this, about what you are gonna be, about what you're about to do. That's what the good in the person will. That's what it does when you have good in you. So God looked at these people. He said, "Man, these people are stubborn and they stiff-necked," which means, in other words, they don't have no good in me. They can't serve God. And these are the same people that had to get wiped out in the wilderness during Numbers. Most of them, majority of these people was the ones that God wiped them out, man.
He said he destroyed them.
Destroyed them. Go ahead, read.
Verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his God.
So he said, these people don't have no good in them. I'm going to wipe these people out. I'm going to consume these people. What Moses does, he besoughts God. What Moses does, he besought God. Kala, chet, lamed, he. What does besought means? What does the word besought means? The Hebrew word for besought is kala. Kala means to entreat the favor of God. To entreat the favor of God. When you are entreating the favor of God, to entreat means to plead with, especially in order to persuade. Because if Moses did not entreat to persuade God from wiping these people out, God was going to kill every last, God was going to wipe out the whole nation. Everybody down there was dead. They were dead. They were markmen. They were dead. But Moses was able to entreat of the favor of God. He was able to persuade God and change the mind of God from wiping these people out. That sounds like a person that's all for himself. That sounds like a person that's selfish. That sounds like a person with self-interest. He didn't say, Lord, oh man, oh Most High, oh go ahead, Most High, wipe them out. You're going to make a nation out of me? Okay, go ahead. No, that's not the mind frame of a godly man. That's not the mind frame of a virtuous woman, of a godly woman. Godly men and godly women think about others. Yeah. Godly men and godly women think and consider others. Guess what? Even in their wrong. Even in their wrong. Yeah. You know how you saw that? They get the punishment. The person don't have no mercy. And you step in and say, all right, that's enough. Don't continue. You did enough. Huh? The godly man says that. The godly woman says that. They don't continue to beat you and beat you till your skin peel off. And that's why God subjected us under the rule of other nations, to where these nations that God subjected us under had no mercy. They had no mercy. Why? Because we violated the mercy. We violated God, man. We turned against God. So God gave us up to other nations. God subjected us to slavery in other nations because of our violations.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Let's read.
I'm playing them.
And Moses besought the Lord his God and said,
Moses besought God to entreat God's favor, right? To entreat means to plead with, especially in order to persuade. It also means to beseech. Beseech means to call upon. Beseech means to appeal, to beg. Appeal. That word sounds very
even in the courts.
It sounds what's the word? Familiar. It's a familiar word. Appeal is what you do in court. Try to overturn the judge's decision. Try to persuade the judge's decision. In this particular situation, Moses tried to appeal to God.
Not to concede.
Right? To make an urgent request for a reversal. To make an urgent request for a reversal to where the mindset of God was already towards destroying and wiping out the nation. He reversed and changed God's mind to save their lives and not do nothing to them. That's a man with power with God. That's a man that has gained full recognition from God. You're able to change God's mind. You're able to change God's mind after he already had in mind to wipe these people out and destroy them. That's power, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's something else. That's why God said, he said, man, there would never, ever be another man compared to Moses. Who said, who saw my face? He said, who saw me face to face? Face to face. That was just said. He didn't literally see God's face. Because he was able to take Moses, put him in the cleft of the rock. When God put him in the cleft of the rock, he said he removed his hand and passed by him to where Moses was able to behold the glory in his back parts. The back part of God. He said, because nobody can see my face and live. I said, nobody can see God's face and live. So that should tell you right there that JC is not God. That should tell you right there that Lulu ain't God. None of these deities is God, because the only God that have not been seen is the eternal. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the only God that know. He said, what did he call him? He said, this is mysterious. The mysterious God. You know why he said the mysterious one? They call him the mysterious one because nobody, this God been talked about for years and centuries and hundreds of years, and nobody have yet to describe him at all. No shape, no. Kidding me? I said nobody have yet to describe him. When these prophets described God, those was visions. That's what they was. Visions. Daniel, he said, woolly hair, blind and white. He said, sitting on his throne. He saw that vision. Man, when you see visions like that, you are one of the elect of God. You're in a different standards. You're in different levels, man. You're in good stead. You're there, man. You're there. You there. Let's read it. No, hold up. Let me see. Boom. Make it real. Okay, top sheet. You're in verse 12 now. Go ahead, verse 11. Okay, top sheet.
And Moses besought the Lord his God and say, Lord, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people?
Look what Moses asked them. So look what Moses asked them. Sound like Ezra. Ezra asked God the same thing. Ezra asked God, he said, oh Lord, oh God. He said, why are you angry with these people? He said, Ezra asked God, he said, why do these people flourish, but your people go through it? Huh? Ezra asked them that. Moses come, he asked him the same thing. He said, why are you angry against your people, man? Sound like a mother pleading with her husband. When the mother come to the husband, she said, oh, come on, Ish. She said, that's still your son. Huh? Mothers do that. The mother come and plead for the children. He said, oh, come on, son. He said, that's still your son. Come on, man. It ain't like that. He loves you. He cares for you. He's this. He's that. You know why? Because I know there's people that the good in you won't allow you to add wood to the fire. Can't forget about parents now. When certain things is going down and happening, certain problems, you don't add wood to the fire. The damage is already done. Why do we continue to add wood to the fire to keep the fire going? We have to quench it with our words.
Yeah, words.
We can quench it with our words. And we can also ignite it with our words. You can ignite it and you can quench it with your words. Look what God is trying to pacify the anger of God. No, Moses is trying to pacify the anger of God. Went to God, he said, oh Lord, he said, why are you angry with your people? Huh? He said, why are you angry with your people? This is your people. Why? How they become your people? You brought them out of the land of Egypt. Moses was just a tool. God just used him. God used them. God used Aaron. God used Miriam. He said, but you really did it, oh Lord. You really did it, oh God. Moses is so used to turning towards God that he turned towards God at the river brink. There's nowhere to go. I said, there's nowhere to go. When he's so used to turning to God in every situation, God looked at him and said, why are you coming to me? He said, at the Red Sea. He said, why are you coming to me? He said, you see the rod that's in your hand? He said, go ahead. He said, I done made you a God in the eyes of the people. He said, you got this. I said, go ahead. Get that rod and go split the Red Sea, man. Scientists discovered that there had been a splitting of the Red Sea. Yes. Scientists discovered that there's swords and armors and chariots and wheels in the bottom of the Red Sea. But we have a problem believing God.
We believe Google before God.
We believe everything else except for God. And we allow things to confuse and distort our mind when it's only done to test your fervency and your determination to serve God. Realize something. When you have come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare your soul and prepare to be tempted. Hear what God said? Prepare your soul to be tested. So when you come to serve God, the test comes. The test don't come when you're not serving God. The test comes when you start serving God. Now, certain things come up in your life. So to see whether you're going to put mom in front of God, whether you're going to put your brothers in front of God, whether you're going to put sisters in front of God, whether you're going to put father in front of God. Why I say mom and dad and all that in front of God? Because they're even with them, it come a time where you got to choose God. Why I say that? Because there was a king. There was a king whose mama had a monstrous idol. And the king had to fire his mother from being queen. The king had to fire his mama from being queen and remove her from being queen, destroyed the idol, the monstrous idol that she made. Nothing gets in the way of you serving God, man. Nothing. Talk. Let's read.
Why do it thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land
He
of
said,
Egypt?
why you getting angry with the nation? He said, you the one that brought them out of Egypt.
With great power,
With
and
great
with a
power.
mighty hand.
With a mighty hand.
Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say?
He said, wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say? Because if you wipe these people out, the people will talk. If you wipe these people out, oh Lord, he said, by you doing this, you're going to cause the people to talk. Look what he said. This is called considering. This is called considering and thinking on the name of God. Which means,
Perfect example.
go ahead and read. This is an excellent example. Which means your actions, my actions, our actions that is done, the things that we do, we have to be careful. Because we call ourselves Israel and we serve God and we surname ourselves after the name of Jacob, but then our action does not compare to what we're saying. So now the people that seeing these actions, you're allowing these people to talk against your God. You're not thinking about the name of God. Go ahead, read what he said.
Wherefore should the Egyptians speak
He
and
said,
say,
wherefore, if you do this, he said, this is what the Egyptians going to say. Read.
for mischief did he bring them out.
Man, God only brought these people out to kill them. God only brought these people out to trouble them. Huh? Mm-hmm.
To slay them in the mountains.
To slay them in the mountains.
And to consume
Because they
them.
just getting out of Egypt. Now they had the grounds of Mount Sinai. It wasn't that. It wasn't even a year. It wasn't even a year. It wasn't even 6 months. Now God wiped this nation out. The people gonna talk. The Egyptians gonna talk. Man, look at this. They would have been better off here in Egypt. The whole nation is dead now. Man, what kind of God would do? They're gonna talk against God, man. They're gonna blaspheme the name of God. They're gonna kick dirt on the name of God. What verse you at?
12.
Go ahead.
To slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from off the face of the earth. Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people.
Well, God, when Moses asked God, he said, "Oh Lord," he said, "turn from your fierce wrath." Turn from your fierce wrath. Turn from this evil that you are about to do against this people. Don't do it. Because these people, because the same people that you done delivered the nation from, they gonna blaspheme your name. They gonna talk against your name, oh Lord.
Remember Abraham.
He said, okay. Now, after, when you're trying to persuade someone, right? You start mentioning good times. You start mentioning good times.
Remember.
Because it ain't always been evil.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
It ain't always been evil. It ain't always been wicked and evil times. There've been good times as well as there have been bad times. But the thing is that when you mention the good times is what keep me from doing what I'm about to do. The good times will refrain me from doing what I'm about to do. I seen a man about to leave his wife. Somebody else come to him. This is an example. Come on, man. Don't leave her, man. Don't do that to her. Yeah, but she did this. Yeah, okay, but what about the time? What about this time? What about when she did this for you? And she did this for you? Look at the beginning of our relationship,
right.
Of how beautiful it was before it got to that. And you know what I learned, man? You know what I learned? Being together 15, 20, 30, 25 years, that ain't no joke. Sometimes certain things happen and you got to find a new way to fall back in love with the person. Sometimes you got to find a new way to regain that person's trust. Sometimes you got to find a new way to gain that person's support because you crushed it at a point in time. But it ain't for me to leave. It's not for me to back away. And that's what that's the strength that I saw in my mother. You think everything was peachy? No, but she ain't never run. And like I said, sometimes you got to find a new way to fall back in love with that person and to regain the trust and the love of that person, man. And that's what Moses did. That was the tactic that Moses did. He brought God all the way back to the beginning of times to Abraham. You know how many years passed? He said, oh Lord, don't do it. Don't kill the nation, O Most High. Do not kill the nation. Don't consume the nation. They're going to blaspheme your name. He said, no, Lord. He said, remember Abraham. He mentioned the right man. He mentioned the right man. He said, remember Abraham. Why he had to mention, he mentioned Abraham. He said Abraham because Abraham was God's friend.
Your friend.
Abraham didn't know he was God's friend.
Remember your friend.
He never told Abraham that he was God's friend because these first 5 was written by Moses. Moses wrote that first 5. Moses wrote Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy by the word of God, by the mouth of God. God's dictated from God. Those first 5 was dictated from the mouth of God. And this is why that first 5 has so much of a hell of an effect on you when you read those first 5 every day. And this is why Paul, he said what he said. He said, listen here, man. Yeah, you can read all the other books. He said, but make sure your stomping grounds is in the first 5. That's where your strength lies at. I said, that's where your strength lies at. And this is why I read. If I don't read nothing else, I'll make sure my head is in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, or Deuteronomy, because I believe that that's where my strength lies. That's where my strength lies at, in those first 5, to where I am able to draw the line, enforce it, and you yourself don't cross the line. It keeps me grounded, man. It keeps me grounded. And that's what Moses tried to do. Moses tried to persuade God. Persuade God from wiping these people out. Tamshi.
Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel.
Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel.
Thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self.
So these are the people, these are the same people that you swore by. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He didn't swear by nobody else, but he swore by those 3. He swore by Abraham. And because of the righteousness of Abraham, he had Isaac. Right? Because of Isaac, then he swore by Jacob. Now, mind you, he had 2 sons. But what Jacob had in him, Esau didn't have. I said, what Jacob had in him, Esau didn't have. Just like today, you can have children, but not all children are not the same. All children are not the same. Each and every one of these children that you had their own mind. They're not the same. They are not the same. Why? Because they move different. They're not the same. Compared to Jacob and Esau, they wasn't the same. But Esau was Isaac's favorite. Esau was favored by his father. Not saying that he didn't love Jacob. And Jacob was favored by his mother. Not saying that she didn't love Esau. But parents had favorites. Parents had favorites, man. And get this out of your head, that Esau was a white man. Esau was not a white man. Please stop saying that. Mind you now, Esau was born from 2 black people. Shemitic. Where is the color change going to come from? The color change did not start until after the flood, when 3 sons migrated into 3 different regions. Shem stayed in Asia. Ham migrated in Africa. And Japheth migrated into Europe. Went up north. You know what's in Europe? Greeks. Was it Greeks? Romans.
All European countries.
European countries is all out there.
All indeed. Scandinavia.
Okay.
London.
And being in that cold region for centuries and hundreds of years, you tend to lose melanin, pigmentation. The sun don't shine too strong. Your hair is not. The hair becomes more slick and more straight because you're in a cold region. Okay. Esau was never white. That was not the complexion of Esau. Look up the definition of Esau. The definition of Esau, or Esau, was red and hairy, ruddy. And when you read the book, King David had the same complexion as Esau. That's in 1 Samuel chapter 16. Read that when it said ruddy. It's the same word that they used to describe the complexion of Esau, which is admoni. King Solomon had the same complexion as Esau because they used admoni or Edom. So Esau was not white. He was red. You ever looked at a black man and they had red hair? They had red hair and they had that reddish brown complexion. That was the complexion of Esau. That was the complexion of Esau. Now, okay, let's read it.
I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven.
That's God. God is telling Moses, they said, I'm going to make a nation. God told Abraham. That was the covenant that he had with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? So he's mentioning that to remind God of what he told his friend. That if you wipe out this nation, then how will you fulfill your word with Abraham when you said you was going to multiply his seed amongst the nations? He said, don't consume them, don't kill them, man. He said, remember what you said to Abraham. Remember what you said in your covenant with Isaac. Remember your covenant with Yaakov. Those three men, the patriarchs, the pace setters. Huh? That's right. These are the people that we need to follow. These are the people that God put here for examples. And everybody in here was not perfect. Get that out of your mind. Oh, why is this in the Bible? This is called the book of life. Right. This is called the book of life, where every aspect transpired in this book. And it is shown how the people dealt with it. Yeah. So when it shows you how these people dealt with certain situations, guess what? It behooves you to follow their path and their footsteps. This book shows me how to deal with certain situations. Yeah. This book shows me what I should or should not be doing during certain situations. This is why it's called the book of life. It covers everything. Stealing, robbing, raping, plundering, deceit, lies, everything. It covers. Let's read it.
And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. Verse 14. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his
After people. Moses got to God, the Most High pulled back. He pulled back and he repented of the evil that he thought or that he had in mind to do to these people, because he was going to wipe the whole nation out. One shot. He's able to do that. Oh, yeah. He's able to do that because he's God.
If you gather his breath one time,
he's able to do that. Let's read. Where are we at?
Verse 15.
Let's read.
And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the two tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides.
Now, after he done persuade God from wiping the nation out, he said, okay, now I could leave. Now I could get down. But I could not go down and leave God in the height of his anger, because I don't know what's going to take place if I leave. Moses was the only one that was keeping God from wiping out the nation. In Psalms, and one of the part of the Psalms, he said Moses stood in the breach. He stood in the opening. He stood in the way. That's why you read where God told him, he said, get out the way. He said, turn aside, move aside. I'm about to kill these people, man. He said, these people down there, they are made and created and made and fashioned a golden calf. They done made a golden calf, and the golden calf that they had made is what created the opening. It's what created and put a breach within their spirit. Notice one thing. When we sin against God and we do things that's contrary from God, we leave an opening in our spirit. An opening for iniquity, for an opening for sin, an opening for negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. And people call it negative vibes. I just got a negative vibe. I just caught a vibe.
Negative
Yeah, you caught that vibe because you're sinning against God.
That's right.
And the negative vibe that you caught is causing you and it's going to make you and turn you away from serving God. That's the heights of it. We put it in different aspects and say, oh, I got a negative vibe and JoJo did this and this. But the real reason why is for you to believe this. And this right here, by you believing, is going to push you away from God. That's the heights of it. But you're not going to be able to see it. You can't see it
Cut off.
because you're cut off.
Mm-hmm.
You're cut off.
Simple.
Like Paul used to say, you cut on, you cut back on. You know how you cut back on? By sticking close to me.
Yeah.
My father said that.
Yeah.
My father said that.
Yeah.
He told me that. He said, nigga, you cut off. He looked at me and said, nigga, you cut
Hey,
off,
John,
man.
what do you say? I am the strength.
He said, he looked at me and said, nigga, you cut off, man. That's
Come
what my
get
father
sharper.
told to me. He said, man, you cut off, man. And I'm saying, I don't argue with him. I sit there and listen. And he showed me where I'm doing things that's going to cause me to be cut off. He said, you know where your strength lies? With me.
Yeah.
He said, you know how you get cut back on? He said, stick close to me, man.
Yeah.
He said, He doesn't mean you get up. He said, He said, I will show you how to serve God. Yeah.
Come to me and get sharp.
He said, come to me and get sharp. He said, come to me and get strength.
That's right.
He said, come. He said, you know why? You can come to me and get strength. He said, guess what? I don't get weak. He said, I don't sink.
He said,
He said, I don't get weak. I don't sink. He said, you know what caused me not to get weak? Listening to those tapes. The first 5 books. The history. Every day he get up, he listen to the news. News ain't nothing on the news. He shut the news down. He put the tape in. He play it. He sit in his room.
He said the moment it comes into his head, he turned the tapes
and
on.
listen to him. And listen. And listen. And listen. That all day. All day. All day.
All day.
And that's how you get your strength in serving God, man. That's how you can get your strength to where you don't waver. You don't waver. We can't. Let's read.
The tables were written on both their sides.
Uh-huh.
On the one side and on the other were they written.
You know where those tables are at? In the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
People have said the erroneous ideas, and I don't agree with it. You know why? Because the book already mentioned where the Ark is at. Well, they said they found the Ark. They ain't find no
That's
Ark.
what they said.
That's what they said. They ain't find no Ark. You know why? Because who hid the Ark? Jeremiah. When did Jeremiah hide the Ark? In Mount Sinai. The only man that went up into that mountain was Jeremiah. The second man was Joshua. He went up halfway. That's it. People try to follow him and mark the way. Blind them. So that ark was hidden in Mount Sinai.
With the altar of incense.
To be never be found. No one is going to find it. The altar of incense, the tabernacle. Huh? You know what's in the ark? The tablets. Manna. The manna that God used to feed these rebellious nations in the wilderness. Manna was bread from heaven. I said manna fell from heaven to feed millions of people in the wilderness. You know why it had to do it? You know why this had to transpire? Because they was in a region, they was in an area, a cold-blooded area. Do your studies, man. Do your studies and try and figure out and seek out and find out the Sinai Peninsula. Do your studies on that. And you'll see why when the nation went into that wilderness, nobody followed them. Because you was as good as dead.
Oh, they're gonna die.
You run up in there, you as good as dead. So they ain't following the environment itself. That's it.
We're in the Death Valley.
Like we're in Congo.
Let's read.
And the tables were the work
Oh
of
yeah,
God.
the staff. Aaron's staff is in the Ark of the Covenant
Aaron's
too.
staff.
That staff that God used, he said, people, gather staffs. And the only staff that budded was Aaron. That's to show you what? This is the guy that God chose.
Yeah.
God chose Aaron.
Yeah.
I didn't choose nobody else. That was in Numbers.
It budded all
I said that was in Numbers. You know why he had to do that? Because you had Dathan and Korah and 250 princes. They want to conjure up and against God and serve him and start up a coup, start a coup. Talking about God ain't the only, you ain't the only one that God chose. God chose us too.
We don't get to offer sacrifice.
We could offer up, but they all had different jobs. And Moses looked and said, you think your job is light? He said, no, man, you take care of the tabernacle and the curtains. And your job is, everything in the tabernacle is holy. Your job is not a light job. But that's what they thought.
Yeah.
They wanted to officiate before God. But you had three men. Levi had three sons, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. And each man had a different job within dealing with the service of God. Okay? The service of God. The Kohathites dealt with the priests. The Gershonites, I don't remember, and the other one, I don't remember. But one dealt with the tabernacle, they built the tabernacle. That's why nobody was able to touch that tabernacle. It was certain ones that was designated to touch that tabernacle and deal with the curtains and the rods. Got a long night, man. Let him sleep, man. Long night. Time sheet.
And the tables were the work of God. And the writing was the writing of God.
Oh, you hear that? The writing was the writing of God.
God wrote it. Graven upon the tables.
Listen now. Listen to this. You think Moses wrote those tables? Those was tables of stone. Let me describe the tablets, man. These tablets was formed by God. You see the way you see it in the movies? It was formed that way. And God imprinted the commandments on those stones. He said it was written with the finger of God.
With his finger. You don't need a chisel. We
Finger of God, man.
God's finger's a chisel.
Tom sheet.
And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there was a noise of war in the camp.
Okay, so now Moses done came down from the grounds from Mount Sinai with the tablets. So when he came down, right, the first person he run into is Joshua. Joshua looked at him and said, listen, now you seen Joshua separated himself from the people. Understand this. When separation is very important, the only way I can show God that this action or these ways or this customs or the traditions that the people are following, you must separate yourself. I cannot continue to live with you because we have different ways about us that's not acceptable by God. We have different customs and traditions about us that's not acceptable by God. And in order for me to show God that I don't accept it, we got to separate. This is why it's very important to separate yourself from families and relatives that do not have the determination to serve God, because now I have to show God that or those ways or those customs is not acceptable by me. So I must separate myself. And that's why Joshua separated himself from the people. Okay? Know where Moses was? Know where Aaron was? He was with the people. Go ahead. He met Joshua. Go ahead, Tom sheet.
And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery.
He said, they're making a strange sound down there, Moses. And the sound that they're making is not the sound of them, a shout from them of mastery. Where you at?
18.
Go ahead.
And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery.
It's not the voice of them that shout for mastery.
Neither is it the voice of them that cry.
Neither is it the voice of them that cry.
For being overcome.
Or be ye overcome. They ain't been overcome. And he ain't going in the midst to find out what's going on. Because he already know there's some atrocities going on there. And I don't want to get caught over there. I don't want to be seen over there. I'm sitting right here by this mountain and I'm waiting for Moses to come down. When Moses come down, then we will deal with it. Till then, I'm staying here. You know who else was there? Lewi. Lewi didn't go there because when Moses came down, he said, who's on the God? Whoever was on the Lord's side, he said, come on up, come with me. Which means they didn't partake of that atrocities and those things that took place at the grounds of Mount Sinai. So go ahead, read.
But the noise of them that sing do I hear.
Now, when you look up in the Hebrew, it says, it is the noise or the voice of them that sing. Joshua told Moses, he said, listen, man, this ain't the voice of them of mastery. This ain't the voice and the sound of them that has been overcome, but it is the sound and the voice of them that sing. The word for sing is anah. Ayin, noon, shabuts, noon, anut. You know what that means? It says the voice of afflictions. The voice of affliction. So that voice of affliction was like groaning and moaning and hymns and grunting. Now a man that used to do witchcraft, he said those are same sounds that they do when they're conjuring up spirits. They're groaning, they're moaning, they groaning and moaning, groaning and moaning, groaning and moaning. Right? Go ahead. He said it's the voice of them that sounds like they got an affliction. Go ahead, read.
And it came to pass as soon as he came nigh unto the camp.
Now it came to pass. Now Moses is going close to the camp now to see what's going on. Right? What is these people doing in the ground down here that caused God to want to destroy them and wipe them out? Go ahead.
He saw the calf.
As soon as he walked in, he run into the golden calf. Go ahead.
And the dancing.
And the dancing.
And Moses angered.
Now, hold up now. Now, let me explain something to you. Right? The golden calf. Right? The first thing he walks in on was the golden calf, which in Hebrew, which is called Egel Masenka. The golden calf is in comparison to Apis the bull. Okay, this is a deity that they have not let go of in Egypt, like people today. People come and serve God, but they have not let go of JC. They ain't let go of Jesus Christ. They still trust in the cross. They still stand up and talk to you, and I ain't gonna do it because I ain't crossing my heart. But they cross their heart. They hit 3 points. Bop, bop, bop. They hit 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Huh? People come and serve God, but have not let go of the deity that of the religion and the deity and the idol that they had been taught and raised in. And believe me, I know it's hard to let go because you've been raised in serving this God.
Right.
You was told that Jesus was God.
Yeah.
You was told that it's good to celebrate Thanksgiving. You was told about the Christmases.
Yeah.
And people don't want to let it go.
Yeah, let it go, man.
They don't want to let it go. And when Christmas comes, they get the jolly spirit. There's a jolly spirit that comes with that. Now, because of the jolly spirit, they want to go visit family and relatives. You cannot go visit families during these pagan festivities, during these pagan holidays. Huh? You can't. Because now you're showing God that you have accepted those ways. You have accepted those things. The golden calf was worshipped by the Hebrews, right? The golden calf was worshipped by the Hebrews during the period of the Exodus from Egypt in the 13th century BC and during the age of Jeroboam, king of Egypt. They did it again. They brought it back. which means they have not let go of this atrocities of these deities.
Jeroboam stayed there.
And that's right. He said in the 10th century, the golden calf is a representation of the Egyptian bull deity called Apis the bull.
Yeah.
Now, this deity called Apis the bull, he had a sun disk on top of his head, which is in honor of the sun god.
Yep.
All right? The golden calf was a cult image made by Aaron. The cult image, a human-made object that is worshipped for a deity or spirit that it embodies. Now, what did God say? Cult image is made of human-made objects. And this is why God said, don't have images of animals. Don't have images of these fishes and things that's in the waters. Don't have images of male or female, because you tell God, oh Lord God, I ain't worshiping it. This ain't no religion. But God said don't do it because that's what it was used for. This is the whole point of having images. It's called cult image. So therefore, because of that, I don't have images in my house. And people, like, they can't live without images. They have been emotionally attached to these images.
Over-exaggerated emotional.
They have been emotionally attached to these images, to where when you tell a person about these images, they say, God don't mean that. It don't mean that. I can have an image of my son as long as I don't pray for it. God is talking about worshiping it, but you can't show me where God said that.
You can't have it. There's no worship.
But I can show you where God said you can't have it.
That's right.
So now we begin to live in houses and apartments and live with people that have images and idols and emblems and deities in the house. You better go. I'd rather go. Listen, I go to a shelter before I live in your house.
That's right.
I go to a shelter before I live in your house, because I have morals, and I ain't gonna tell you how to run your house, but I damn sure can't live in here with crosses,
That's the first
with
thing.
deities, with horseshoes and things over your lintel and all these symbolic things that people want to have
On top of that,
in their houses.
on top of that, incense burning.
Then you got incense burning, when incense was only burnt during the sacrifices. Incense
In the
was
temple.
only burnt during the sacrifices of God in the temple. In the temple.
From Henry to everyone else.
Okay, time sheet. What verse we at?
In the middle of 19.
Go ahead.
That he saw the calf and the dancing.
He saw the calf. Now, while the calf is there, the people is dancing.
And Moses' anger waxed hot.
Moses got tight.
And he cast
Moses got tight. Moses got so angry that what he did?
He cast the tables out of his hands and break them beneath the mount.
Mm-hmm.
And he-
Because what angered God angered Moses.
he
Moses
saw
just
it.
wasn't able to see.
Now he sees.
Because you know what? He told Moses up, he said, look what the people did. The people was down there doing this and doing the other. Believe me, Moses would have seen that. He couldn't see it. And he didn't see it up there. He couldn't see it at that time. Because he don't got the eyes of God. God got the eyes to penetrate a wall and see through the wall to see what's going on in the next room.
X-ray comes from, man.
Moses ain't got that eyesight. So when God told him to see, look at the nation, he told them what they was doing. He pleaded for the nation, persuade God from destroying them and wiping them out. So now when Moses go down, he go amongst the ranks, he see it with his naked eye, what the people is doing. And just by what he saw, he threw the tables down and it broke. Got him tight. Tom Sheet.
And he took the calf which they had made.
Now he went, took the calf. He took the calf that they had made. Right? You hear what it said? Wait, where you at?
20.
Go ahead. And he took the calf which they had made. Listen, let me explain that to you now. Who made the calf? Aaron. But Aaron didn't make the calf on his own. It didn't come to Aaron's mind to make that calf and form that calf.
He did.
The people pressed him. Thousands or hundreds of people pressed him and told him, get up. make us a god.
That's their cat.
They made him do it. So now Aaron ain't make it. They made it. That means a lot because we say, this person made it, but you made him do it. So he's not charged. You're the one that's charged.
You're the one that's charged.
You're the one that's charged.
On orders.
You're on the orders. You're just following orders.
Harsh orders.
Okay? Let's read.
And he took the calf which they had made and
Now
burned it in
Aaron
the
took
fire.
the calf, he burnt it within fire,
Ground it to powder.
ground it to powder, destroyed it,
Destroyed it upon the water.
put it in water.
And made the children of Israel drink of it.
You know what that is? That's metal. That is gold. That's metal
Gold.
that was beaten down to dust, put in the water, and made the people drink it. Now you drink that and see what happened to you. You go drink the metals and see what happened to you. That's to show you right there that God was with these people, man. Even in their faults and in their wrong, they were able to do things that we can not do.
It was still coming.
We can't do, which means at certain situations and certain times, they still was covered. God still maintained his mercy, his compassion, and his pity for people that did not accept him.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad. That's bad. This is why people come to you and say, listen, they pleading with you and talking to you, and they say, listen, after everything I did for you, you don't want to deal with it no more, okay. But if you decide to call at 6 months, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, the number's there. Guess what? I'm still here. That don't mean nothing to people, man. That don't mean nothing to people today, man. It don't affect them, and they can't see past that. They don't see the good in that. That's how hard your heart is. You have such of a hard, stony heart that you're not even able to perceive the good that a person have in them. Just by the words and their things and the actions that they're doing and the words that they're saying. Tom Sheep.
And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great
Look
sin
what
upon them?
Moses said to Aaron. He said, man, what in the world did these people do to you, Aaron, that you're gonna cause a great sin upon them? He said, what these people do to you that's gonna cause you to build this calf? Why did you do this, man? What came into your mind to do such a thing? What came into your mind to do such a thing? And you ask people that, why was that your first resort? Why was that your first option? What were you thinking that caused you to move on this particular idea as your first option? You couldn't find out another way of solving this matter? That's what Aaron is. Basically, that's what he said. What did the people think that caused you to do this? You couldn't find another way of detouring or turning them away. Same thing like today, you couldn't find it. Why do you resort to the first thing that comes to your mind? Why do you give in to the first thing? And that's what we do. We give in to the first thing instead of looking for other avenues to solve matters. Instead of looking for other avenues to solve matters, we choose the first thing. The first thing ain't always right. Sometimes the first thing that comes to your mind is detrimental to you. But you feel you're moving off the emotions. Man, be careful, man. Be careful, man. Let's read.
And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax.
Aaron said, oh, Moses, please. Please, Moses. Please don't get angry. Let not your anger rise. Don't wax hot, please.
Thou knowest the
He
people.
said, you know the people.
That they are set on mischief.
That they are set on mischief. You know the people that these people are set on mischief.
Mischief means somebody.
They're set on trouble. They're set on mischief, Tomshi.
But they said unto me, make us gods.
They came to me, man. They came to me, pressed me, and told me to make gods, which shall go before us.
For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what has become of him.
He said, Moses is taking too long. He been in Mount Sinai only God knows how long. We're down here waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting and waiting. There's no cell phones. There's no telepath. Nothing. I can't make a call. Let me call Aaron. Let me text Moses and find out what's taking him so long. Let me call Moses and find out. Hey, Moses, man, what's up, man? You still up there? You all right? You dead? Alive? They don't know if he's dead or alive. And belief and trust. Woo, man, this is heavy. Belief. Now, we look at these things as an example. And we say, the people should have believed God. And that's true. They should have believed God after everything they saw. But realize something. Realize yourself. You're not going to believe God that quick. You know why? Because belief don't build so quick. No matter how much you saw, no matter what you saw, no matter how God dealt with you, belief and trust don't build so quick. It takes time to strengthen your belief in God. It takes time to strengthen your trust in God. Time. That's why a person that's been doing this and living these laws for 30, 40, 50 years, you see certain reactions with this person that this person don't react. That's why my father looked at us. He said, man, I don't know how y'all could do that. I don't know how y'all could do this. I don't know how y'all could do that. He said, I'll die before I do this. I'll die before I do what y'all did. But you know what? My father had more time serving God than we did. So his belief and his trust in God was stronger than my belief and trust. And as time go on in life, by you living in the laws of God, truthfully, your belief and trust at one time or in the time will be like your father's. Yes, but you got to work on yourself. You can't sin presumptuously and expect your trust and belief in God to be strong. You can't sin against God presumptuously and think that you're going to get firm and strong in God. That's not going to happen. That's why. That's what took place. Tamshi.
And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire.
So he said to them, whoever got gold, whosoever had gold, he said, bring it to me. All right, bring it to me. He said, what?
So they gave it.
So they gave it me.
Then I cast it into the fire.
Then I put it in the fire.
And there came out this calf.
That didn't happen. You can't form a calf like that. That takes time to form a calf. First, you have to create a mold. A mold, pottery. When you're doing pottery, you have a mold, and you take the liquid. He knew the direct temperature of how to melt the gold and pour it inside the mold to create that golden calf, the mask of a calf. He knew that. We were civilized people, man. We weren't animals. We weren't savages. We wasn't cavemen. Okay? Tamshi.
We didn't climb no trees. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, when Aaron had made them naked unto their shame.
When Moses saw that the people was naked, that's verse 25, right? Yep. The word for naked is parad. Parad don't mean naked. Peresh ayin. Parad. It means, you know what parad means? When Moses seen that the people were not controlled. Aaron has lost control of the people. He's by himself. Not controlled or limited in any way. You know what? Limited in any way. There's no limits in you. You don't have limits in your life. You know what that means when you don't have limits? There's nothing that I wouldn't do. You don't have no boundaries. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. To suffice myself. To suffice my emotions and what I feel. Not even the laws of God would cause you to have boundaries and limits. I got boundaries, man. And we all should have boundaries, which limits us from doing certain things in life. which limits us from doing certain things in life. And we got to realize something. Good is described in the book according to what God said is good. Stop looking at people, man and woman, and saying, oh, I found a good man. What's good about him? Do we serve God? No. So he ain't good.
He ain't good.
Do we order his life according to the laws of God? No. So he ain't good. This man that you have succumbed to wants nothing to do with the true and living God. He serves idols and deities, and that's what he orders his life according to the ways of the Christians and the ways of the Muslims, to the ways of being a Yoruba and African coastals and all this foolishness. So what's good about you? Evil. God tell you what's evil. God describes to you what's evil. God describes to you what's wicked. And if that person, if that man or that woman is not in the description of what evil is according to what God said, then you can't look at the person and call them evil or call them good. If they're not walking in the ways of what God said is evil. We have a problem with that. Okay? So now it said not controlled or limited in any way. Right? Notice the other definition? A tale of lust and unbridled passion. You know what unbridled passion is?
No bridle.
Unbridled means you don't have a bridle. When you have a bridle, you're restrained. You have restraints. You have certain things that will stop you and hold you back. When you have unbridled passion, whatever you want to do or whatever your passion is, you'll do it. Forget about if I'm offending God by doing it. Whatever comes to your head. Huh? Unbridled passion, which means it went down at the grounds of Mount Sinai. They was doing things that caused God's anger to hit the roof. Huh? Go ahead, read.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side?
Moses went to the gate of the camp. He left them in the midst, left out of there, went to the gate, went to the opening. He said, who's on God's side? Huh?
Let him come unto me.
And at that point in time, that's what you got to ask. Regardless of the situation, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what transpired, the number one question is, are you on God's side? And when you're on God's side, that's what's going to put boundaries and limits. You will not do this. You will not do the other. I'm not going to cross this. I'm not going to cross that way because it's getting in the way of me serving God. That's why you don't move off the first. That's why you don't move on the first thought. That's why you don't move off of first thought. That's why you don't move off the first idea. Because you got to evaluate these thoughts and these ideas that's in your brain. Because by me moving on these thoughts and ideas that's in my brain is going to cause me and push me further away from God. Go ahead.
And Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me.
Who is on God's side? Let him come unto me.
And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
3,000 men died that day. 3,000 men. Go ahead, read.
But Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to the Lord.
But it never gave a read of how to consecrate. They knew certain things that was not revealed in the book. They knew certain things that was not revealed in the book. How to consecrate yourself. What to do to consecrate yourself to God. Because once you do that, you become separated. This caused immediate attention from God. Go ahead, read.
And every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow you a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, ye have sinned a great sin.
Moses went to the people and said, man, y'all sinned a great sin. You did something. You don't even know what you did. You don't know what, they don't even know what was going to happen to them. He said, but y'all sinned a great sin, man.
And now,
he said, now
I will go up unto the Lord.
He said, I'm going to go back up unto God.
Peradventure, I shall make an atonement
He
for
said,
your
now,
sin.
after he done persuade God from wiping the people out, he said, man, I got to go back up to see if God could expiate and erase your iniquities, man. Because this is bad. This is bad. So now Moses is going back up to God to make an atonement for the nation. Tom Sheet.
Moses returned unto the Lord and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin.
Look what he told God, man.
Look
what he told God, man. Moses was a man that was not selfish. You cannot serve God being selfish. And when you're selfish and you have self-interest, what you feel, how you think is the only thing that counts. You don't leave the door open for consideration. Nothing else matters. You're selfish. You have self-interest. You got to leave a little opening in the door to consider certain things. It's not all about me and how I think and how I feel, because you can't serve God that way. Look what Moses told God. Go ahead.
Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book.
That's not no light thing. I just read to you in Malachi chapter 3, where God got a book of remembrance, where your names is written in the book for all those that fear God and that thought upon the name of God. So now Moses is asking God to make atonement for the nation's sins, for the nation of Israel iniquities. And if you are not going to make atonement for their sins, then take my name out of your book. Because if your name get taken out of that book, you can forget about it. You can forget about it. All right? Go ahead, read.
And the Lord said unto Moses,
look what God told Moses.
Whosoever had sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book.
So you know what that means? No one can die for your sins.
Nobody can die for my sins.
JC, that Negro on that dude on the cross, he didn't die. No, but I got people say it's a black JC now. You got white JC, black JC, Chinese JC, European JC, all these type of JCs. So no man or nobody can die for your sins. God said, and God told Moses that the soul that sinned, his name shall I blot out.
Scrap ain't even want to die. He got chased.
Therefore, now go. Lead the people
now,
into the place.
Look at that. Verse what?
34.
Okay, so hold up right there. He said, yet now, if thou wilt forgive, he said, if you will forgive, talking to God, right? To forgive what? What happens when you forgive a person? When you forgive a person, you stop being angry. In order for me not to be angry, I have to forgive. And because you haven't forgive or taken into consideration of what the person is saying, you're going to continue to be angry. Right? To stop feeling angry or what? Resentful towards someone for an offense, a flaw, or a mistake. Because those are the three things. Offense, I can be offensive and I can offend you, right? Or I can have a flaw, something with me that I do that you just don't like, right? Or I have made a mistake. And for all these three things, we have taken for granted. because we have offended, and we also have flaws in us, and we also have made a mistake that have caused certain things to happen in our life. But when it took place, now you can go back and play the tapes and say, wow. Now that's going to make you think upon yourself.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know that this was going to be the reaction that came out of this. I didn't know that this reaction was going to happen because of this. And then when you truly feel bad, you go to the person and say, man, listen, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that this affected you that way. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again, because my intentions was not to make you feel this way. Huh? My intentions were not to make you feel this way. Go ahead, read.
Therefore now, go.
Wait, hold up. Go ahead. Therefore now,
go. Lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, mine angel shall go before thee. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them.
you hear what God told him? He said, listen, man, God is angry.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, Moses, I'm tight, man.
Yeah.
I'm tight. So because of my anger and because of me being angry, I can't lead these people. Because by me being around these people, I'm going to wipe them out. You ever seen your father get real angry at you? And then he look at you and tell you, say, you know what, get out of my face. I don't want to see you.
I want to hear your voice.
I don't want to hear your voice. Stay away from me. Because when I see you, the anger in me is going to get stirred up and I'm going to come at you. That's why King David told Absalom, see my face no more. And it was 2 years that Absalom did not see his father's face. Now, after the 2 years, Absalom couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. Which means you must be a different breed to stay away from your parents for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years. 10 years you ain't seen your parents. 15 years you ain't seen your parents. 20 years you ain't seen your parents. 3 years you ain't seen your parents. 2 years, 6 months. You ain't seen your parents. That's supposed to bug you. You know, I told my pops that before he passed. He said, man, I got to stop here first. I got to stop here first to see y'all and see how y'all doing, boom, 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 because I got to see how y'all doing, man. I got to see what's going on with y'all. I got to see if y'all need me. I got to see if I got to do this or what. And that's the reaction of children. That's the reaction, supposed to be the reaction of children. Supposed to be. But it ain't the reaction of all children.
Nah.
Some children disappear. Man, listen, I ain't seen my daughter since January 6th when I buried my father. And I told her, I called her, I said, damn, baby, I said, what's up, man? I said, the last time I seen you was when we buried your grandfather. I said, it is now January 6th, 2024, and it's a whole year that I didn't see you. Where you at? I said, where you at? When you coming to see me? When you coming to visit? I didn't do that to my father. A year without seeing my father and my mother? You crazy?
Leave me alone.
You crazy? You out your mind?
Yeah, you out your mind?
Gotta be out your mind, man.
Listen.
Gotta be out your mind. And you didn't learn that until I taught you that. Because your actions and your ways, you was compared to an American. You was compared to the mindset of the world, to where children stay away from their parents and they think that's normal. They think that's normal, that you have your own life. I have my own life that I gotta do. One woman was sick. A brother told another brother. The other brother said, you know what the other brother told him? I gotta make money.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's gonna be the death.
And the mom's is on her deathbed. The parent is on the deathbed sick.
And that nigga said,
but the son said, I gotta make money.
Yeah.
That's his God.
That's the mentality
That's
of people, of children today.
That's right.
Let's read. Where we at?
Therefore now go, lead the people into the place of which I
God
have
told me,
spoken
so
unto
listen,
thee."
man, I'm not leading these people because if I lead them, I'm going to kill them. You don't want me to kill them? Then I'm staying away. But what I will do, you lead them, and I'm going to do what?
Behold, mine angel shall go
I'm going to
before
send an
thee.
angel before you. Now remember now, God's angel, the angel of God, God's name is in this angel.
That's right.
He don't have the mercy of God. He don't have the compassion of God. He don't have the pity that God has. So when you violate, he going to kill you. He said, now, nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. The word, he said, if I visit you, paquad. The word for visit is paquad. It means to visit. He said, remember, I will remember. By me coming to see you, it's going to pop in my head. I seen my father do that. Where certain people, he see the offense that the person did comes to his mind. And that's what God said. He said, I can't leave these people. He said, because in the day that I visit these people, and I'm talking about I'm leading them, I'm going to remember that scenario at the grounds of Mount Sinai. And when I remember that and I see that in my head, my anger is going to stir up. And I'm going to get angry. And at an instance, I'm going to wipe every one of them out.
Right.
So therefore, I can't even be around these people. I'm going to send my angel though.
And the Lord plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made.
See.
And the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham.
Okay, let's cut that because I don't have no. It's 1:30. I gotta call up. Let's go. Let me go hit certain spots now. Let me hit this. Go to Psalms 92.
Shimo. Shabbat.
Psalms chapter 92.
Psalms chapter 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord.
He says a good thing. This is the Psalms of David, right? These are Psalms that came from a man that was chosen by God. These are Psalms that came from a man that was chosen by God. Okay? So therefore, when you pray, you don't make up prayers. You use the Psalms of David to pray to God. Okay? You don't go online to find prayers that these abominable people come up with. When I write a prayer, I use the words of David that suits and fit my situation. Okay? Now, when you're giving thanks, right? That's when a person is thankful. You thank God because you're thankful of the things that God has done for you. You thank God because you have acknowledged the things that God has done for you. Right? Right? When a person is thankful, they show appreciation for and they return kindness. You must show your appreciation for the good that a person did for you. It wasn't all evil. It wasn't all bad. They're all good in certain things that the person has did for you, which was good. So now, the evil in you won't cause you to recollect and think on that. That's what we doing to God. And they return the kindness, Tamshi.
To show forth thy loving kindness.
To show forth thy loving kindness.
In the morning.
In the morning. You know how you show your loving kindness in the morning? The word for loving kindness is kesed. It also means grace. To show your grace in the morning. You know what that is? When I get up at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning and I set up my offerings. Not literally, but now you can. God said you set up your offerings through prayers. The calves of your lips. God will accept that. Grace. It means what? To do honor or give credit to God. That's showing grace. You do honor, you honor God, and you give all the credit to God. Right? Loving kindness in the morning,
and thy faithfulness every night.
and your faithfulness every night. The word for faithfulness is aman, aleph, mem, nun. It says, it means to be steadfast. Steadfast means dutifully, firm, and unwavering. Dutifully means conscientiously or obediently fulfilling one's duty. Conscientious means to have a conscience, and your duty is to serve God and keep his commandments. That's your duty, right? Now, unwavering means sometimes I'm cold, and sometimes I'm hot. Sometimes I'm cold, sometimes I'm hot. You're wavering with God. Huh? Tamshi?
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon the instrument of 10 strings.
And upon the
And
psaltery.
upon the psaltery.
Upon the harp with a solemn
Upon
sound.
the heart with the solemn sound. All these songs was actual songs.
Oh, yeah.
The songs
Yeah.
were songs that were
It was
sung
sung.
in the temple
That's right.
to God. They were sung to God. This guy loved God so much that he made songs dedicated to God. Tamshi.
But thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy works.
For thou, O Lord, has made me glad through your works. And whatever God do, he accepted it. Anything that God did, he accepted it. That's why I say whatever you did, God, I was glad with it. I was accepted. I was good with it. Go ahead, read.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
O Lord, how great are thy works, and thy
Oh
thoughts are very
Lord,
deep.
how great are thy works, and your thoughts is very deep. The word for deep is ayin mem kuf, right? Amak. Amak means profound. Your thoughts are very profound. You know what profound means? Intellectual depth and insight. Okay? Intellectual depth
Intellectual
and insight. And only two got that. The adversary, which is the devil, and God. That's why the adversary was able to pass Adam and not bring this to Adam because he knew he wasn't able to persuade and beguile Adam into eating the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
It's like you got a scanner.
Okay? But he seen something in Eve that Adam did not have in him. He seen something in Eve that he was able to get to her and beguile her and trick her into eating the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Then, when she ate it, she acknowledged. After she ate it. Right? Intellectual means what? Faculty of reasoning and understanding a person. Able to, right? Insight is when you know how a person is. When you know how a person is. We don't know that. I can only tell by a person's action. Because you can look at a person and say, man, I know how you is. But then 6 months later, a year later, the person changed. He was serving God as a wood and stone. And then a year later, 20 years later, now he's serving the true living God. Now he's the strongest thing that's serving God. So we don't know truly how people is because only God can look inside the heart. Only God could look inside the heart. Tamshi.
Oh Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not. A brutish man means an ignorant person. An ignorant man is when you lack understanding. Tamshi.
Neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass.
When the wicked spring as the grass, that was metaphoric. When the wicked grows and increase like grass, right? Parach. It means to flourish or blossom. So when the wicked has achieved success, when the wicked has prospered, right? Michael Jordan,
That's them.
he's prospering.
That's them.
He's a billionaire.
That's them.
The Oprahs,
That's them.
she's prospering.
That's
She's a
them.
billionaire, but they don't know God. That is their portion.
Cardi B, everybody.
Huh? He said, when the wicked flourish as the grass, they have achieved success and prosper. It is what?
When all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed.
That's because God is going to destroy them. So God gave them and sufficed them with what they want.
That's right. That's their portion.
That's their portion.
But when they die,
Because when they die, and when God called their name, and when they die, he said, they shall be destroyed forever. You know what that means? Your spirit is going to be destroyed. The wicked spirit gets destroyed.
that's right.
The evil man gets destroyed. His spirit gets destroyed. The body rots,
And that
go back
spirit-
into the ground,
and that spirit.
and the spirit gets destroyed.
Yeah.
There's no akarit, there's no hereafter with that person. Tamshi.
But thou, Lord, art most high forevermore.
But thou, O Lord, art most high forevermore. Tamshi.
Below thine enemies, O Lord, below thine enemies shall perish.
Uh-huh.
All the workers of iniquity
All the
shall
workers
be
of
scattered.
iniquity shall be scattered. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. When you look up the Hebrew word for scattered, it's parad. Pei, resh, dalet. What does that mean? It means to be divided. It means to divide, right? What does it mean by divide? He causes you to disagree. He causes disagreement in you. And by God causing you to disagree with what is godly or righteous, or with the advice, because by God causing you to disagree with that, that's what's going to push you away. That's what's going to cause you to scatter. That's what's going to cause separation. Okay? Divergence is when two things split from one another. When there's a splitting, God did that split. And then we look at it and say, oh, the reason why it's splitting because of this, and God is for. No. No. You have not made up your mind to serve God. And it's proof. Yeah, you have not made your mind up to serve God. Because everything that's been shown to you, you're not doing it. You need a guide. You cannot serve God without a guide. You need a guide, someone to show you and lead you towards God. Okay? So that you don't lean to your own understanding, because when you read what you see, what I see, you ain't gonna see.
That's right.
I said, what I see or a person see that got 40, 50 years in, when you just started living this for 6 months, a year, you ain't gonna see what that person that got 50 years in gonna see.
That's right.
Because my mind, or the person's mind, is more open and susceptible to what's here in this book.
Yes, sir.
Where your mind is not that open.
Yes, sir.
You have a closed entrance. It's so closed that information have a problem seeping through that little narrow
You
path.
ain't gonna see what I see.
So you ain't gonna see what this person sees. You ain't gonna understand what this person understands. That's why I behooves newcomers that's just reading the book. Don't go off your own understanding.
That's right.
Don't read it and say, I understand that. No, you don't understand it.
That's right.
Ask questions. Ask questions.
That's right.
And see what is, because I can explain to you, or the person that have time and graded in can explain certain things to you that you would never pinpoint. You will never see. Because your mind is not like my mind.
That's a
Just
big
like
fact.
my mind is not like God's mind.
That's a big fact. Huge fact.
Okay, let's read. And your thoughts is not my thoughts. The way I think, you don't think like that.
That's right.
Tom C.
But my horn shall thou exalt like the horn of a wild ox.
Uh-huh.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
Uh-huh.
Mine eye also shall see my desire.
My eye also shall see my desire. In the Hebrew, it don't say desire, because we didn't desire. We didn't desire our enemies to fall. We didn't desire our enemies to fall. He said in the Hebrew, it says, my eye also shall observe my enemies, and mine ears shall hear.
My desire.
It don't say desire. And my ears, he said, when the wicked that rise up against me, the wicked that rising up against me, my ears shall hear. My ears shall hear. I'm going to hear about it. Evil and wicked people that rise up against a man, a godly man, I'm going to hear about it. I didn't desire it. I didn't desire that, but it took place. It happened. That's the protection of
That's how
God.
you know God is with you.
That's how you know God is with you. Tom She.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm
The
tree.
righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. The righteous shall blossom like the palm tree. And when a person blossoms, right, they develop good, attractive, successful qualities. Tom She.
And the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar.
He shall grow. He shall increase like the cedar trees. The cedar trees, they're high. I don't know a tree as tall as the cedar trees. Tom She.
Those that be planted in the house
Those
of the
that
Lord
be planted in the house of the Lord
shall flourish.
It ain't talking about actual plants. He said those that are planted in the house of God, those that are deeply rooted,
Grounded.
those are now grounded in God. When you're rooted, you influence others' behavior to be better. When you're rooted in God, my job is to influence you to behave yourself with God.
I can't agree with everything.
Which means a person that's deeply rooted, I can't agree with everything. I'm not going to allow myself to agree with you and you're wrong because I'm deeply rooted in God. Tom She.
Mine eye also shall see the desire of my enemies.
Mine eye also
ears
shall see my
shall
desire
hear
of my
desire
enemies.
of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth
Those
fruit in
that
old age.
they shall still bring fruit in old age. It ain't talking about plants. I'll be 8. Look, my wife will be 80 years old, and I'll be 85 years old. And the age won't stop us from having a baby.
Abraham and Sarah.
Look at Abraham and Sarah. She said, man, I'm too old to have a child. But God said, listen, you're going to have a child. You're going to have a child. And she laughed. Angel went to Abraham and said, man, why your wife laughed, man? But she said, no, I didn't laugh. She was afraid. Tom She. To say that she did laugh. Tom She.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
To show that the Lord is upright.
To show that the Lord is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
There is no unrighteousness.
And there is no unrighteousness in God. Right. The word for unrighteousness is awel, means injustice. You know what injustice is? Any act that violates God's moral laws. When you commit an act to violate the commandments of God's laws, what are the morals? Thou shalt not. Don't do this, don't do that. When you violate that, that's called injustice. And with that, I already got what was bought. And I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
I'm
Shalom.
going to the next speaker, teacher indeed, Chief Mika out there level.
Giving all praises to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Giving all due respect to my father and my teacher, the leader, Chief Eleazar Ben Dodo of the tribe of Lewi. Giving all due respect to chief men, princemen, mothers in Israel, brothers and sisters, I bid you on the tongue of all forefathers, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Nakara.
At this moment, I would like for everybody to rise and repeat after me, the reciting the commandments. And God spake all these words, saying,
And God spake all his words, saying,
I am the Lord thy God,
I am the Lord thy God,
which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
out of the house of bondage.
out of the house of bondage.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image,
or any likeness
or any likeness
of anything
that
that is in heaven above,
is in the heaven above,
or that is in the earth beneath,
and that is in the earth beneath,
or that is in the water under the earth.
that is in the waters under the earth.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
nor serve them.
nor serve them.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God,
For I, the Lord thy God, am jealous God,
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
visiting the iniquity of the fathers
upon the children,
upon the children,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
and keep my commandments.
and keep my commandments.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Remember the Sabbath day,
Remember the Sabbath day,
to keep it holy.
keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor,
6 days shalt thou labor,
and do all thy work.
and do all thy work.
But the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
In it thou shalt not do any work,
Thou shalt not do any work,
thou, nor thy son,
nor thy son,
nor thy daughter,
nor thy daughter,
thy manservant,
thy
nor
manservant,
thy maidservant,
nor thy
nor
maidservant,
thy cattle,
nor thy cattle,
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
the sea,
the sea,
and all that in them is,
and all that in them is,
and rested the seventh day.
and rested the seventh day.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day,
and hallowed it.
and hallowed it.
Honor thy father and thy mother,
Honor thy father and thy mother,
that thy days may be long upon the land
that thy days may be long upon the land,
which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Thou shalt not murder,
Thou shalt not murder,
thou shalt not commit adultery,
thou shalt not commit adultery,
thou shalt not steal,
thou shalt not steal,
thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor,
thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor,
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house,
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house,
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife,
nor his manservant,
nor his manservant,
nor his maidservant,
nor his maidservant,
nor his ox,
nor his ox,
nor his ass,
nor his
nor
ass,
anything that is thy neighbor's.
nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
You may be seated. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his spirit may be before your faces, that he sin not. And the people stood afar off. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. But if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Okay, we're going to backtrack. We stand right here in the same Exodus.
It said, "You should not tempt
Okay.
the Lord."
And we're going to
Tempted him at Massa.
verse 18. Right after, no, anything is our neighbors.
Exodus 20, verse 18.
Yeah, because the rest of this has to be explained too, because the laws was given to these.
Yup.
To the priest. A lot of this was for the head, for the priests. All right. So verse 18.
Exodus 20, verse 18.
Mhm.
And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
There's another part I was just reading. It said, man, they were scared.
Yeah, they was afraid.
Okay,
They was afraid, man.
they were scared.
Yes, they was.
But you see, in everything that's going on, we got to remember the Most High God. Even when it looked like you were about to die,
That's right.
that's when He wants you to remember Him.
That's right.
Okay, when it looked like this about to go down, look, and it's going to go down. You still remember God
That's right.
because He said, the mountain is on fire. It's earthquake. Everybody ever been in an earthquake in here? Anybody ever felt? Where you from? Yeah, a lot of earthquakes where you from, brother. Yeah, we felt the aftershock of an earthquake. Remember when you came to the window, and all the glasses up here was shaking? I was outside, and it felt weird. I felt euphoric, and it sounded like the train, the 4 train, was under. It sounded like, you know, the train is under, and you hear the rumbling. That's what I heard. That was just an after effect from an earthquake that happened in Virginia. So imagine if you at ground zero,
Right.
all right, And you know this is not an earthquake. This is a quake, but God is causing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Personally, because his presence is there.
Mm-hmm.
The mountain is on fire. You see how big a mountain is?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody been hiking
No.
or been in the woods of a mountain? I have. You will be in that mountain and it look like you're on the ground, you're on the earth. That's how big it is. You can get to the top of the mountain and you still got miles on top of that mountain.
Right.
You could settle. A city could go on top of that mountain. That's how big those mountains are.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on fire, y'all. It was on fire and it was smoking. Okay? It was smoking. These mountains had trees and leaves and all types of stuff, but that thing was burning. It didn't burn there just one time. It said, and after this, Moses went into the fire where God was.
Right.
While he was up there, they was down there waiting for him, that fire was still there the whole time. And then when he came down and he seen what they did and everything happened, he had to go back up because he broke the tablets.
Yeah.
God said, yo, you got to come back up.
That's right. That's right.
So he went back up another 40 days and another 40 nights.
I said, now you gonna write it.
And this time you're writing it. You're writing it. Because you broke it.
You broke
See,
it.
look.
Right.
And I understand you was mad for my cause. But you broke something I made.
And I told
Gave
you should have let me destroy
You
it.
should have. So look, you got to come up here and do it now. You talked me out of it. Now they're going to carry that sin.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't excel in the wilderness.
That's right.
I said this months ago to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That said, one great sin will stay on you, no matter what. And this is going to go down in your life because of that one great sin.
That's what caused them the detour.
That's what caused them to detour after that. That's why they couldn't get it right.
That's
I
right.
heard what Moses said. He said, yo, man, y'all don't know what y'all, this is a great, you at the mountain of God. You
Domino
at
effect.
his mountain.
Domino effect.
All those mountains belong to him, but he picked this one. He liked this mountain. And he sanctified it. It's
Domino
called the
effect.
Holy Mountain of God.
That's right.
And you decided to take some stuff that I told you to leave alone
Mm-hmm.
out of Egypt. I destroyed these people and
Mhm.
broke them down for you.
You.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bring you out, and then you quickly turn on me and go back to follow the slave master.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when Israelites be talking about the white man, I don't want to hear that because you followed him. You followed him.
That's right.
I don't want to hear you talking nothing about these people or that people because you
follow
follow them. That is the problem. Leave them alone. Your mind is too much on the heathen.
Right.
Look what they're doing. All right. You see that every day. You see it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you letting it mess with you? Because look, you're not right before God. You're not right. Leave that stuff alone. Because all you're going to do is wind up following them. It said, regard not their works.
That's right.
Regard not their deeds, because their deeds are full of idolatry. Everything the heathen do comes from idolatry. When a person sneezes and they say, bless you, that comes from idolatry. That's not a holiday. Right or wrong?
Right.
That's the ways of the people. That's the ordinance of
Custom.
the people. Some do, some don't. But that's the ways of the people.
That's right.
So when they saw the thundering and lightning, scares people. Thunder scares people.
Yeah.
It scares you, dude. Thunder says, wow,
Scares
that's
me.
look. When it really broke, we said, whoa.
Samuel used the
It's more than
thunder.
usual.
Samuel used the thunder
It
to
feels-
show the anger
To
of
show the
God.
anger of God.
Where he was displeased.
Okay?
It wasn't accepted. What you
This
did?
thing ain't to make you go, oh wow, look.
No.
Like, look at the shooting star. And no, God is here. He said, and the noise of the trumpet. And they hear the noise of a trumpet, but they don't see nobody blowing the trumpet.
Yeah.
These things, that's why they were scared.
Mm-hmm.
God got their full attention there. But
Mhm.
you're going to read why God created this scenario.
Right.
All right? He said, in the mountain smoking,
And when the people saw it, they removed and stood far
Once
off.
they seen all that, it ignited and everything, they backed up.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to gauge through.
Oh no, they ain't going up there now.
The borders is right
Forget
here.
about that.
They not near the borders.
Mhm.
They was already far away from the borders. And God told Moses, get back down here and make sure nobody come to the barricade, right there where the barricade at, to look in. He said, because anybody peep or gaze inside
They did.
to try to see me, they're not going to get to
They
see me because I'm going to shoot through them.
They did.
God said he's going to cause something to come out the heavens and shoot through their body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You don't need a gun like we do.
No.
You control everything. Stone, get up and shoot through him. And that's it. It'll get up and go. Forget science. Forget that it don't have legs. It'll have legs and wings now. Because God said it.
That's right.
He said that when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
And they said,
it.
and they said it unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
They said, no. You speak with us. You be the intermediate. You be the spokesperson for us. We'll tell you, and then you go tell God. Whatever God tell you, in other words, keep this set up that way. There's no way we going near there. There's no way we could talk to him. You can do it. You know what's up with you? But you got a special thing with God. You walk up and buy in and stuff, and you don't put your hand in your bosom and it came out white, and you put it back and it was regular.
You did a lot of it.
You did a lot of stuff, man. And this God here, because they don't know God yet.
No.
This is the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, look, man, you go over there, you speak with him, lest we die.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't do what you do. If I go to speak to God, man, I don't need you. I can speak myself. Burnt. You're going to get burnt. You ain't going to exist no more. So that was the deal. And that's when they should have realized I shouldn't be so quick to come at Moses. He's my teacher.
Right.
Because he was picked for a certain quality I don't have. And he has been committed and ordered to teach me that quality so I can have the same quality that he has, because that's what he was picked for. They didn't see these things.
Right.
Wow. You can go up in there and speak to God? I'm going to have a certain type of honor for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because you speak with God and God let you close to him. He don't let nobody else do this but you. Nah.
Oh, yeah.
You the man.
You the man.
Look. When you speak, I'm going to listen. Maybe nobody else. But when you speak, I'm going to listen. You know what I'm saying? He said, let me see.
Right.
Yeah, verse 20.
And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God has come to
He
prove
said,
you.
don't worry. He said, look, you ain't going to die. You're not going to die. Okay? He said, but God has come. He's doing all of this to prove you, to test you, to let you see what's going on. Okay? All right? He said that his fear may be before your faces. That way, a year from later, you're going to remember this situation.
That's right.
You say, oh, no,
That's right.
no, because time does this to people, and they go right back in their regular slot where they started back again.
Mm-hmm.
In time. Oh, you forgot what happened? So you moving like this never happened. This happened to get you to move correct. So that's why he put this here.
Mm-hmm.
He put this scenario here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't never seen nothing like this before. Look, you seen 10 plagues. You seen plagues. They never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get to meet the one who sent those plagues there. You get to meet the one that sent Moses to speak to you. You get to meet the one that created all of this. You get to meet the one that destroyed who you were scared of.
Mm-hmm.
You get to meet the one who took Egypt. Everybody glorifies Egypt today, even today. Israelites, white people, black people. Oh, Egypt was splendid in glory. Egypt was full of cities of idolatry, man.
Yes.
It was built on idolatry and built on worship of the dead, just like Babylon. Okay? That's what Egypt was built on. And it was so beautiful. The reason why it was beautiful was because it got statues and pictures. Every animal you could think of.
Yep.
And who followed? Israel.
Uh-huh.
Later on in the prophecy, he said, you poke a hole, prophet, poke a hole through here and look through there and see what they're doing in secret. But they think nobody can see. They think I'm not watching. But look and see. Now you're going to see why I do them the way I do them.
Right.
They were in there. Everybody's going, all right, get the pictures. And they put pictures of creeping things. Not the Mona Lisa. Not a family portrait.
Uh-huh.
They don't went from household gods, which is when somebody in your family died, you honor them as a god now. And you start putting up pictures on them, tattoos. You do things in their honor of the dead.
The creation
Okay? You say things, long live. Okay? You say things, moment of silence, pour out liquor, pour out water. All these things is worship of the dead and in all the ancient customs of Egypt and Babylon.
They cremation does
Cremation.
on
An urn.
Yeah.
They got the person cremated. They burn them, right? They didn't burn them. We didn't get burned. We didn't do that. It wasn't that. God said you're getting this body back. They cremate you, and they put it in a thing called an urn. And look, that thing is kept as a god now.
That's right.
It's sacred in people's
Right.
houses.
That's right.
No. You better not go in this area. It's set on high in a certain area. That's a shrine. A shrine is an altar
That's a shrine, an altar.
dedicated to dead things,
Right.
people and animals.
That's right.
That's what it does.
Right.
That's a shrine. All right. And this is of old. That's why I said the man Micah, he had a house of gods. What you think constitute a house of gods? Pictures, emblems, symbols, statues, busts, images. I'm not bowing down to it. You don't have to. Just having it to yourself corrupts you. That's why you can't get this right. So you got more corruption on top of what you was born with.
That's right.
And the years and decades, this thing add up. That's why the whole world can't make it.
That's why
It's
the world
too
is
much.
lost.
It's too much sin. Oh no, it's I'm not clean. I'm not cleaning that up.
The world is gone.
That's it. Like, man, and you knew better. I'm not doing that. That's how God look at it. So when you die, he destroyed you. And like this man said, people get their portion here in this life. Israel's portion is not in this life. That's why Israel goes through the hardships. It was a time when everything was cool in Israel. Everybody did that what was right before the Lord.
Before God.
You know what messed it up? Somebody had a bright idea, and then somebody followed that person, and then they had a group. Next thing you know, the whole city is serving Bill. And when you come and say, thus saith the Lord, they hate you. When you point out that these laws, you're not doing them right. You're not supposed to be eating blood. You're not supposed to be getting haircuts and shaving. You're not supposed to be doing this. You become a problem. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Elisha was a problem. Elijah was a problem. Jeremiah was a problem. Jeremiah was a problem so much, they grabbed him and threw him in what we call jail. It was the dungeon, a pit. Worse than a dungeon. They threw him in a pit and left him there to die. All because he said, thus saith the Lord. And they knew he was sent from God personally. They killed the prophets. That's why ain't no more prophets now. What you want prophets now for? You think they won't kill the prophets today? Let somebody stay up in you. Thus saith the Lord. Nobody's going to take that. After a while, they didn't take it. What make you think you better? See, because why? Because they became lawlessness after a while. So when the prophets came, you're speaking to a people who's not conforming these commandments no more. They have another goal in mind. And you messing my stuff up. You messing my money up. You messing the order of how I got everything going on. He got to go. That's what happens. And that's what they did. Okay? So, yeah, not everybody is supposed to. I don't look for everybody to realize and recognize the truth. Because it's not in for everybody to recognize.
Uh-oh.
So I don't go head over heels. I put it out there. You take it how you want to take it. He said whether they forbear or hear or forbear. Whether they hear means to hear and do, right? Or they don't want to take, they don't want to carry that with them.
It's not for you.
It's not for you. That's all. Time sheet.
And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
That's what stops you from sinning. Fear. 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 Being afraid of what's going to happen to you, your house, your wife, and your children, because that's who you are responsible for. Because all these things trickle down. Say, I visit the iniquities upon the sons. So, fear is what stops you from sinning.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you fear? Belief.
That's right.
Belief is
That's
what
right.
makes you fear.
That's
I believe this when I'm reading, and I believe that God will do this if I go and do that.
That's right.
So it's fear. I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to do that to me. I'm afraid of him doing this to me.
Right. In fear, men depart from
In fear, men depart from evil. And that's a good thing. So God says fear is a good thing. But what do you fear? You fear the wrong thing, you ain't departing from me.
I fear my wife.
So he said, fear God and keep his commandments.
I fear my wife.
Oh, you messed up now. She don't fear you, brother. Don't do that. And I read one here said, man, he said, I pity a man. He said, woe to a man that gives his heart to a woman. Right? I love my wife. We've been married. We're one. Right? My love, my soul, and my might goes to God. Okay? That type of love goes to God. Time sheet.
And the people started to fall off. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness.
So
where
after
God
that little
was.
conversation, I said, look, man, you speak to God. We're not going over there unless we die. And they kept it moving. They kept pushing back. And Moses said, all right, cool, solid. And he walked, and it gets hotter the closer he gets.
Went into the thick darkness.
Look, that type of heat, God shielded him. Because you will burn up before you get anywhere near that fire, man.
That's right.
That's the fire of God. The sun ain't got nothing on that. And when you get close to the sun, look, here on earth, if your skin gets burned, you stay out too long.
You can't stay in the sun.
Look, man, he said, my eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. His eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun that he created.
Not 10 times. 10,000
10,000.
Took him off.
So,
That's why Moses' face
that's
was
why his
light.
face was shining.
When he came out that mountain.
He was shining.
Huh?
Okay?
Glory, man.
Time sheet.
Glory to God.
Time sheet.
And the people, and the Lord said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven.
He said, look, this is what you tell the people. You see that I came down from heaven. You know. You didn't see me, but you know I came down. The one that's been sending messages to you and that's been doing all this great stuff that brought you out with a great and mighty hand. You seen that I talk with you from heaven. You know why he's saying this? I'm real. That's what that means. I'm God. There's only one God. There's no such thing as more than one God. The term God, the word God, the power that's attributed, it can only be one. This power can't be shared or given to.
That's right.
You understand what
That's
a
right.
God really is, man?
That's right.
What God, the word God is?
That's
And
right.
he said that the men are gods here. This realm, this planet, Earth, God gave us to live and dominate and live his commandments. And we are gods of this planet.
Mhm.
But he is God, period.
That's
He
right.
is the judge of all judges, king of all kings. He's over everybody.
That's right.
The boss of bosses. So now that's what he's trying to get into these people's head. because they still have the stigma of Egypt. They grew up in Egypt. Their parents grew up in Egypt. They've been taught birthdays. They've been taught this. They've been taught that. They've been taught this. They've been taught the calf worship.
Yes, sir.
But I know who God is now. But I still have these abominational things in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it took time.
Right.
But some of them, most of them, had to get wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
I have talked with you from heaven. He said, ye shall not make with me gods of silver.
You shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold.
What you gonna make?
Uh-huh.
You ain't seen nothing.
You ain't seen nothing.
That's why he said, you saw it. I came and I spoke to you out of heaven, but you didn't see nothing. So
That's
don't
right.
make no gods of silver and gods of gold like everybody else do. Don't you want to be unique?
Yeah.
Everybody like, I'm different. No, you ain't. You just like everybody else, man.
Everybody.
You, him, her, all of y'all. I'm different.
I'm
We're different.
Facts.
We do things that people ain't been doing in thousands and thousands of years. One man told my father, you not doing, nobody do this law, Kali Gabed. You know what Kali Gabed is? The separation of men and women's possessions. Women don't use the men's possessions, and the men don't use the women's possessions.
He said that's the thing of the whole.
He said that's the thing of all ancient.
Nobody's
Doing that in Israel.
I said, yeah.
He said nobody's doing that in Israel today. That's different. That's different. He said, I don't lie.
That's a fact.
He said, I don't lie.
Man, don't lie.
That's different.
different.
Yeah. They're not different. They're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
This makes you different. This makes you a different. It makes a difference.
That's right.
At the job, in the street, wherever. Somebody gonna say, why you ain't? Somebody gonna say, happy? I said, man, what are you telling me that for? And you know I'm an Israelite. You know I don't celebrate that. They're gonna do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it anyway because they don't care who I am. In their head, that's happiness. The guy said, well, it's just, just spreading happiness. I said, that ain't happiness for me, brother. I said, you mess my mood up with that every time you see me. You told me the year, we're into the month now. All right? You said it before. I checked you on it. Now, the 2 times you see me now, you want to tell me the same thing again. And look, that's the only time you happy. That's the only time you happy. When the idolatrous days come around.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the days you're miserable. Because you don't have God in your life.
Yeah.
David said he delights in the ways of the Most High in his works. That's why you need days to be happy. You need fake days with fake gifts. Because the gifts don't mean nothing. But you still hate me.
Uh-huh.
People just give stuff away just to brag. So they wait till that day comes. Big shot. All of their days is to fill your idolatrous pride up. You said, well, I haven't seen. I said, man, I'm with my family. Well, I said, I'm around my mother every day. I live with my mother.
Right.
Okay. Got a problem with that?
Facts.
Anybody got a problem with that? Because this world makes it seem like it's wrong. Why you still with you in your mother house? Or your father house? Yo, listen to me. Your mother and your father wish you were still there with them. Go and speak to them. Get out my face. All right? Get out my face. You see how old I am? You see how old I am?
Opening her head.
Stop playing with me, man. Your mother and father wants you there with them. They look at me and say, damn, I wish, yeah, you ain't got to wear what he wear, but follow that one thing. Hold me down. Because when you get old, you're going to want your kids to hold you down, man. You're going to feel a way when your kid's not around you.
That's a big
When they
fact.
don't call, check on you.
That's a big fact.
Yeah, you're going to feel it, man. And look, what you don't know, that dishonor you gave up? Oh, these kids today going to give it to you.
10 times.
They're going to give it to you.
10 times.
And it ain't going to be an Israelite because the kid ain't even Israelite. So he going to really give it to you.
May punch you in the back of your
You're
head.
gonna want it. When you reach a certain age, you're gonna look at some and say, yo man, this little, who are you to be?
Yeah.
You're gonna get to that age.
And they're gonna get worse.
And
As time goes,
yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah.
So you want to give that up, man. What you want, you gotta give up
You
to.
gotta give up.
You ain't gonna get everything and don't give up nothing.
That's right.
I'm not giving you all this consideration and trying to plead in with you and try to talk sense into you and you not listening to them. Forget you. That's when you become a scorner. That's when you become a scorner. God said, don't tell the scorner nothing. You know what the scorner is? When what you said, pleading? When you ain't pleading no more. When you ain't trying to talk, listen, man, I forget it. I tried to talk to him about it, man. Forget it. He's a scorner. That's a scorner. Won't listen. It takes time to be a scorner. But the person see, man, yo, you know what? This guy just or this girl just won't listen. You're a scorner. And you don't have to say nothing. Time sheet.
An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me.
Your altars that you make can't be out of plastic. It can't be out of whatever you want to make it up to be. It can't be out of wood. It has to be stone. All the altars of God are made of stone, natural stone. Nobody has put a tool. It hasn't been dug up. No, it's you go out there. Oh wow, would you say natural? Meaning what? Man has not messed with this. It is in the state that God has formed and created it. He said that's what you offer the sacrifices on. That's how holy he is. Okay? To where his altars, they can't be constructed. It can't be screws. Yeah, we're making an altar. No. They have to go out there and get big giant boulders, big, man, and put them together and design them. And they're bigger. How do you have altars bigger than this building? Higher than this building. He said, and there thou shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, thy peace offerings, thy sheep, and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. Where's the place where God chose to put his name in right now, 2024?
Not here.
Not here. So gold is but look, and that's why you got camps. Because God has not put his place in one area. So everybody can't be in one area. That's why you have this place over here, this place there. You have options. There's no excuse. You have options. Because back in the days, you ain't got no option. He said, all males shall not appear before the Lord empty. 3 times in the year shall they appear before the Lord. Okay? And that's in Jerusalem. We don't have that no more.
No.
There is no tabernacle no more.
No.
There is no place where God chose to place his name. The world is too corrupt. And there's no people. The people are gone. This is what we're doing right now is a get back. Get back from the people that got scattered and forgotten, and that's it. You know how our parents say, look, man, you gotta get out of my house. Bye. Don't come back. That's what God did to Israel, man. Why? Because you want to be in God's house and run it. You want to come to my house and be louder than me in my house. You want to come to my house, okay, and yell at my children. You want to come to my house and yell at my wife. You want to come to my house and be the exception for the rule that I make for everybody. You want to come to my house. When I go to teachers, you don't want to go. You got to go. You can't be in my house and not serve this God. Nah, that ain't happening.
That's right.
My woman's relatives, you staying over the weekend? You coming here. You're coming here. You're going to be here. Or else don't come. I don't care how your parents feel. I don't care how anybody feels. And if you feel away, bye. God made me. You didn't make me.
Keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
Get
This
out my
is
face.
this is what you call getting broken down.
Yeah, you ain't gonna hold me back.
Whatever standard I'm at, whoever I meet, I get them up to that standard. You ain't getting me down to your standard. So it's gonna be kind of rough. You'll get feelings hurt. You're gonna feel away.
Better put your life vest
Because
on.
this is a training to something that you're not accustomed to.
Yeah.
And in a little while, you will be accustomed.
Put your life
And it
vest
won't
on.
feel like nothing. It won't feel like it's a problem or a burden. Or maybe you have the time. Just keep coming, keep digging in. Keep coming and keep digging in. Blind allegiance. And you will get opened up. God will say, we will open you up and you will see
Open you up
into
more.
where it make you want to stay.
Yeah. Won't be a
No
burden.
matter what happened, you ain't going nowhere. What she said, look, wherever you go, I'm going. Wherever you die, I die.
She said, your God.
Your God,
It's my
it's my God. So please, know why she said that?
So stop asking.
Because
I'm not going nowhere.
I'm not going back out there like her. Oprah left.
Oprah went back. What the book said?
She went back
Went
to
back
her
to her
family
God.
and her gods. But when you go back to your family, that's what you
That's
go
what
back
you
to.
go back to.
You go back to the God because Christmas is there. December come. You ain't been around it for a while. But now you're left off from God and you're back. It's there waiting for you. Because you never let it go.
You gotta let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
We have a bad habit of holding on to things that are not good for our spirit. Naturally. It's a right to keep these commandments. Why? Because I got some stuff in me I was born with that don't want to serve God. And will come up with any excuse, will agree with any support against God. Yeah, that's each and every one of us, man. That's why he take no excuse for nothing.
That's a
No.
fact.
First, with himself.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Forget us, forget everybody else. He perfected with himself.
That's a fact.
Then he started, yeah, I'm doing it because I got it now. You know, it took a little time, boom, boom, boom. I got tested, boom, bang, I got it. And now you can talk. You can talk. And that's strength, that was strength for us.
Yeah.
Because we saw how he did it. He told us how he did it. He said, well, he told us what was going on in his head. And how he reasoned with himself.
Yep.
To do God's commandments. It takes a lot of work. Look, it takes a lot of work to do the wrong thing too. But this work here will last an eternity for your spirit. Put it like that. An eternity for your spirit. Time sheet.
And shall sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen, in all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee.
I'm gonna come to you.
And
If I record my name here, when you pull up with your sacrifices, it will be accepted.
That's why we were so close to God.
It will be accepted,
We had
man.
a spot where we could pull up.
So I got a spot for you to come to. That's why they couldn't do it in
Where I
Egypt. He said, we gotta get out of Egypt. We can't serve God here, man. Forget family. We gotta get away from the whole city. Because we were brought up here under these things. This here, that's what brought them close.
Ain't
He
no
said,
spot here.
ain't no spot. What I keep saying, where is the spot that God chose to place his name?
Ain't here.
It ain't here. That's why you gotta read every day, read every day, read every day. There's no prophets. This is your prophet. This is your priest. The priest show you how to keep yourself separated from God and keep away from certain iniquities and uncleanness. This is it. This is the priest. This is the Kohen. This is the king. This is the prophet.
Not a Kohen in Brooklyn with stink feet.
This is the king. This is the Kohen.
Feet stink.
No man can make an atonement for me today. Look, no man can make an atonement for anybody to God today.
The nigga stink. Come on, man.
All right? How about that? First of all, if you doubt what I just said, tell me how to make an atonement. How did the priest make an atonement? Tell me what's the procedure. Tell me what's the procedure.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You don't know, so that's why you can't make one. And there's no one that can make one. Nobody. We on our own out here, man. We're in the belly of the beast, scattered through the four corners of the world. All right? To live amongst the people who our forefathers followed. That's the thing now. He said, yo, you know what? I'm not gonna let these people go now. I'm gonna keep the Canaanites here because you kept them here. You didn't kill them. And I'm gonna keep them around you to test you, to prove you, to see if you're gonna follow them, to see if you're gonna marry into them. Now I'm gonna let you know, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, because it will turn the hearts of your son from following you.
That's right.
It's gonna come back to bite you later when they get older. It comes back because you got foreign relatives. You don't made relatives of foreign nations. Now it's in the DNA. So not everybody gonna come out with this godly spirit on them. And in time, that mixing, there's nothing pure no more. So everybody's following the people now. So God kicked them out. But this was the beginning of it. These were warnings. Said, look, man, you ain't gonna just come up in here and live how you want to live, and that's it. You're here under a banner of commandments that your forefathers lived by, and this is why I made a covenant, a deal, a pact, an agreement, a promise. All of those are the same thing. An oath, a swore. He swore. God swore when he said, this is the deal. You do this and I do this to Abraham. That's an oath. Also, y'all know that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it. Now, what if I get you upset? I did something ain't got nothing to do with this oath, and I get upset, and you're very mad at me. Can you change that agreement?
No.
Can you change that covenant?
No.
That's why God stuck with them. That's why they was able to do some erroneous stuff right in front of his face. And he let his mercies take care of it. Long suffering take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Until they said it got to a certain point, they said, okay, y'all gonna keep up because it's gonna get to a point in time, it's gonna get to a generation where your sins, I ain't gotta do nothing now. It's already set up. Your sins are gonna come back and bite you in your face. And that's what happened to them. Your own sins gonna come and repay you to your face because this is what you're putting out. Time sheet.
And if thou would make me an altar of stone, that's not build it of hewn stone.
Don't make it of hewn stone, man. One king, he went to Assyria. King Ahaz. He went to Assyria and paid tribute to the king of Assyria because that king was running it. Okay? He went and paid tribute to him. And while he was there, he saw an altar that they used for their deities, for their gods, right? And it was decked out with gold and all types of stuff. And he wrote down the blueprint. See, these are not cave people. He wrote down the blueprint. The altar is like a building. There's a blueprint involved. He wrote it down. It's huge. He wrote it down, and when he got back to Jerusalem, he gave it to the priests. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Priests know this is not good. This is against God's commandment. He say something, he dead. The king running. He told the priest, take God's altar and push it to the side. It's not being used no more. He said, they use this altar now. So you know, at that moment, they're not sacrificing to God no more. Straight up serving idols in the temple. That's when it started.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he said, you don't use no altar that anybody else used. You can't use it for me. You got to go out there and get whole stones that haven't been touched. Okay? And then you perform your stuff on there. See, everything about God is different. Time sheet.
But if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted.
If you want, see, certain things that you do, you corrupt it or you pollute it. All right? I have an idol or image to myself, right? Or a picture. It corrupts my spirit automatically. I don't have to bow down to it, right or wrong.
That's right.
I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do anything.
Just by you.
Just by it being in my possession now, it corrupts my spirit. And we don't know how that corruption goes. We don't know what that corruption will make you do. This is why he said, man, what was you thinking? Because he has things or has done things that's corrupting his spirit. So that's where evil thoughts are able to come in. Because when you're corrupt, your spirit has an opening, which is called a breach. It's an opening. And that opening is only for bad stuff to come in. Or you got all the good stuff. You're protecting the good stuff in. But now you're messed up and you're left for opening. And that's what Moses stood in the way of. The opening of Israel, their breach. If I don't want you to get this guy, I'm gonna get in the middle, right? You ain't gonna, I know you ain't gonna do it to me. That's why I put myself in the middle. That's what Moses did. God ain't gonna hit him. And he knew that. That's like your man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Your man can stop. Your man, your friend can say, nah, chill, son, chill. Don't hurt him, man. Let him go. And he violated. He was wrong. Okay, now we're going to go to 1 Samuel. Oh, man, I just messed up. Oh, no, finish that.
Neither shall I go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
All right, steps. The altar, like I told you, they were so high and large.
They
had a ramp. Because you could look up what guys. I seen a guy standing up the train station, the stairs to the train station. This guy standing up, and every female that got a skirt on, he like this, looking up. And that's why, because the men have robes on. And that's why God say, make a ramp. Not because of people with disabilities. See, today now you see ramps because of people in wheelchairs. Nobody was walking, was moving. Yo, it was a blessed people, man. There was nobody moving on wheels. We didn't have Down syndrome, all these diseases that's out here now. Cancer, like somebody called cancer back here, it was personally from God. Okay? It wasn't like today. Oh man, what happened to him? Oh, he had this. Oh, okay. But we're used to it. We're used to the penalties of sin. But that's what it is. What all those diseases and stuff is. That's all sin brings that stuff. We're so used and common to it, we learn how to live with it. We learn how to live with AIDS. Yeah, when AIDS first came out, they called it the monster. It ain't the monster no more. People are living with it. You wouldn't even know. You say, oh, wow, nah, he's healthy or she's healthy. He said, no, man, stay away from her. She got that monster. And it don't look like it. But we are being so accustomed to sinning, we got accustomed to the penalties of sin. Like it's okay. Time sheet.
That's it, right?
That's it? Okay.
1 Samuel.
All right, here we go. 1 Samuel chapter 25.
And Samuel died.
Samuel was a very, at that time, this is around the time of Saul, right? When Saul was king.
The reign of Saul.
Okay? And during the reign of Saul, Samuel died. And he was a prophet from a baby, from newborn. He came out, he was ordained a prophet. Okay? He grew up in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up under Eli. Eli was the high priest at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was sharp. You get trained under a godly man, you become sharp. You're gonna move. You ain't gonna move like everybody else move with this. Okay. He grew up as a prophet, and he died.
Right.
He said, and all the Israelites gathered together and lamented. Everybody came and cried.
Mm-hmm.
They did not take the body and process the body all over the place.
No.
Okay?
No.
Once he died, the next day everybody gathered. They didn't wait a week later. We don't have morgues. Okay, I heard put that body down. Once the person is dead, the body is unclean. That body contaminates everything, and there's no way to get that uncleanliness off. Okay, the person is gone. The person that we know is not there no more. That's the shell. This is a shell. This is you seeing me, right? This is not how I really look. Okay, it's different in the spirit world. So they lamented him and buried him in his house at Ramah. Meaning, not inside his house like the Babylonians. You got backyards, you got fields. Pick a spot and they buried him there. Okay, we didn't have cemeteries, y'all. That's another thing we didn't have. We didn't have cemeteries. Cemeteries are for people to visit the grave. All right? That's what cemeteries are for. Everybody buried, you took care of your own, and you buried them in your own field, your own plot, your own land, like Abraham did. Town sheet.
And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. And there was a man of Maon, whose possessions were in Carmel. And the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep.
This guy was rich. He was rich. He had a lot of stuff. And David is in the backyard of his fields. He got acres and acres of land. And David is hiding from Saul. Saul's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
So David and his men on a hideout. And they picked this man's estate and fields to slip under the radar. That's where they at. Tom sheep.
And 1,000 goats. And he was sharing his sheep in Carmel.
He had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. And he was sharing his sheep
In Carmel.
3,000 sheep. You know how much wool and fleece that is? You see them shearlings? All them expensive sheepskin?
Mm-hmm.
Came off with sheep. How do you think they got it all? That was money back then. That's why you didn't have to go to the store and buy a coat.
Right.
Your blankets, everything was, you had it. We were self-sufficient. God had us self-sufficient. We were not dependent on any other country. Our economy, everything was ours. Okay? He said, now the name of the man was Nabal. This is the man that's so rich. Tell you.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding and a beautiful countenance.
We're going to break this down right now. He said the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife, Abigail.
Good countenance, good understanding.
He said she was a woman of good understanding. What's that in the Hebrew?
Tobat Sekel.
Tobat is told. Good. Greatly good.
Mm-hmm. Sekel is prudence, good sense, and understanding.
Oh boy, prudence.
Prudence, good sense.
Prudence. Good sense.
Right.
And what else?
And understanding.
And understanding.
Read definition.
Yes.
Prudence, the ability to govern and discipline oneself by the use of reasoning.
My wife has the ability to what?
To govern and discipline oneself
herself
by the use of reasoning.
By the use of the reasoning that I taught her with this. That's how she's proven. That's how she became proven. She's able to, I don't have to come and say, hey, what you doing, wife? You know you want to I took it. She did it to herself. I ain't even got to come tell her nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She has prudence. What's the other quality?
Good sense.
Good sense.
A discerning awareness and
discerning. She can tell. Yeah, she's on point, man.
She was on point with Nabal.
She was on point with everything with her husband, man.
That's right.
She was on point.
She
was his eyes in back of his head.
She had that sense.
She had the sense for that.
Yeah.
Tell she.
A discerning awareness and appreciation.
Awareness, discerning awareness. And what?
Appreciation.
So, man, if they were always a happy dude. You had to go for me.
She can get his
She's no. See, it's gonna go. Hey, I don't want to start no war here, man. But yo, nah, look. Certain duties, the man got, certain duties the wife got. And that's part of it. That's part of her awareness. Oh, wait a minute, it's 5 o'clock. I gotta get he'll be home in a minute. I have to he likes to have this ready. That's what that is. The same way sometimes we be like, yeah, you know what? Let me get this for her. We do that too. No.
How we do that too?
Roses.
Just talking to you about that.
Okay? We show appreciation. I see Mama do it. Yes, your wife, man. You can love her. No wrongs, no problem with that.
I love
He
it.
said, Isaac loved Rebecca. Isaac loved Rebecca. Look, man, when he first saw her, he said, oh, this is me. He said, this is me.
He was confident.
He was confident.
After the death of his
I got my match.
He was sick the whole time.
I got my moms. That was the only thing that could comfort him, man. You miss your pops is a certain comfort. You miss your moms is a certain comfort. And only another woman, your wife, can give you that. I know somebody that just lost his mother, and his comfort is a female. She's with somebody else, but he still calls her. She's like, yo, listen, I can't. You can't come cry on my shoulder no more. I'm with someone now. Yo, when you lose your parents, man, you get them back. So it's a different mourning, and it's a different type of comfort that you're gonna need. And if not, you will go into depression. Man, God ain't with you. You're not gonna catch yourself. You let yourself go. Word, man. Because that's the ones that God tell you to honor. So when you honor them, oh yeah, you gonna really miss them. There's people here that came. I see their parents die, and I don't see
No remorse.
I'm right.
You don't care? No, I ain't coming. I ain't talking to this nigga. I ain't coming.
I'm like, what? That's
Stupid.
Yeah.
You gonna do something?
Yeah.
He sure say he gonna kill his brother when his father died.
When his
Did he
father
do it?
died. Yeah.
He do it.
Oh, no. The first thing he thought about was his father. He said, look, I'm gonna kill him, but I don't want to do it in front of Howard. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna wait. But all that in time, you see, everything was of God, first of all.
Exactly.
So it's just a feeling.
Right.
And Esau,
But he felt that way.
and that's look. He keep coming after my stuff.
He
You
felt
could have
that
felt that way. The blessing's supposed to come to me. This guy tricked Allah and got mine. Damn, you took it. He said, yo, man, this guy got this, he got that. He said, yo, why he coming after me like that? So that's the reason why Esau felt away and wanted to kill. And that was the last straw. Look. I'm not satisfied with this blessing. This blessing my father gave me, he had to force this out. This was all he could give me because he gave this guy the rest. And that blessing was mine. That's why he was upset.
Yup.
But guess what?
Yup.
He didn't keep the grudge.
Man, they cried on each other's shoulder when they ever died.
They ain't seen each other for so long, man. I miss you, man. Don't worry, forget that, man. Come here. Forget about that, man.
So the other side of righteousness, Jacob didn't forget. He did the wrong.
Jacob
He didn't forget.
tried to.
He said one.
All right. Jacob was like this. Jacob wasn't a person that did a person wrong and act like he didn't do wrong. Okay. That's what I got from that. Because he remember, I said, man, he didn't say, well, Eli told me to do it. What? That's what we would have said. We would have said that. Because that's how far we are with this knowledge of God. But he didn't do that. He's a grown man. Ain't no Iman nothing. Iman Abba not here no more either.
That's right.
We gotta listen, man. I'm sorry for what I did, man.
That's right.
Look, and I know if he mad because the first batch that went up, they gonna get hit up for taking it to slavery. And look, and that first batch had presents and gifts.
Right.
So even if he wasn't mad, he said, oh, he ain't forget what he did.
It was 2
Okay.
throws right before he came.
He had 2 throws.
With gifts.
And he was by himself.
With gifts.
He was by himself.
Yo, Jacob different.
Because if Jacob go down, I heard somebody say, well, man, you know, he's the protector.
No, nigga.
That's why
He's
he's
the
last.
That's right. He got to make more.
Because if Jacob fall down,
It's over.
okay.
But if everybody else falls
What he
down,
said?
he can
What he
make
said?
more.
He said, if I leave now, all of y'all going, all of y'all gonna leave off from
That's
me.
right. What Abishag
Right
told
on.
David. He said, yo, no more, man. You the light.
Come on, you're the
You're the
light.
light.
You're
You
the
gotta
franchise here. Certain things you can't come out and do. No.
If you die, it's over.
You get behind me.
You die, it's over.
Right. Time sheet.
But the man was churlish and evil in his doings.
What's that word for challenge?
The word for churlish is quashe. It
Quashe.
means difficult to deal with or hard.
Difficult. How you gotta make things so difficult? Everything. You're the only one, man.
What if I had to do?
We say this to each other. We've heard people say, they say, yeah, but this guy is always, I don't care where you go, there's always that one guy or that one girl or that one kid. If you kids too, you kids too. You watch you kids too. Now, you know, you got all the kids are good, but then there's one bad kid. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Quasha, right? It means hard, not easily penetrated.
Not easily penetrated. Meaning I can't get through to you.
Can't get through.
Yo, man, talk to them. No. You know how many times people say, yo, man, talk to him. Talk to him. Make you know. I said, man, I don't do what you think. I don't lost my voice. You're not listening. It's not penetrating the good words and the counsel and the advice and what's going to happen to you. I tell the person, look, this is going to happen to you. That don't penetrate.
Lord, that's determined.
That ain't penetrating. So that's churlish. All of this is what this man was. There's a big difference. He's churlish, right? And it said, and evil. He was also evil. He was an evil guy. So but it doesn't say the stuff he did. Okay? So he wasn't 100% with God. What else?
Lacking consideration and compassion.
I don't care who felt the way. Yeah, but this is, you should have done what? Well, no, I don't care because this one and that, he did this over here anyway. And blah, 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 blah. You know consideration? You know consideration of who you around? You know consideration of where you at? You know consideration of what's going on? That man was childish. I mean, he didn't care about nothing.
Right.
That's what that means. I just care about me and how I'm in whatever, however I feel, that's how I go.
No good.
And then on top of that, it said he was evil in his doings. He did some evil. He did a lot of evil things.
And he was rich, huh?
He would say it again. That was my
Man,
he
he was
beat me
rich.
to the punch. He beat me to the punch.
Rich.
He beat me to the punch.
Righteous man. David
Yeah,
asked
man.
for them.
When it beat me to the punch. You read a lot. You read too much. You read too much.
Word.
That man was rich. See how much sheep he got. That man was rich. He was worth a couple of mil. Okay? And God still said, nobody said this.
God is saying he's
God
That's
said
right.
he was evil.
That's right. So
He said he was churlish. He said it's hard to talk to him. You can't
get
talk to
through.
this
You can't
guy.
get through.
You can't get through. You can't reason with him. You can't get no mercy out of him. Nothing. You can't talk to the guy. Okay? And that, but the reason why is because he still has doings in his life that are evil.
That's right.
That's it. That's how simple it is.
That's right.
That's why these bad characters come upon us. Tom Sheep.
Harsh and incapable of being corrected.
Harsh. That was a little bit too harsh.
And incapable of being corrected.
Incapable means I'm not able to be corrected.
Right. You can't
I'm not able to correct myself. You ain't able to correct me. My daddy ain't gonna correct me. My mama ain't gonna correct me.
That's right.
I say God correct me, but I don't do what God
You
said.
accept that.
Because that's what my pride, that's what pride
So those
does.
are ways that what?
These are
You
ways
should not be.
that you don't want to be. You don't want to be
Should not be.
churlish. Look, you want to be prudent. You want to be a woman and a man of good understanding.
Right.
You want to be prudent. You want to. It's good. God, you know what God love? God love God love when a person receives correction.
That's right.
And acknowledge.
And there's two ways. Somebody tell you when you receive it, or you get it yourself. Either way, you correct yourself before God. You good. You want to see how long you're going to keep this. You got to put time in now. All right, I started doing this. Okay. All right, Nick, I'm watching now. He back up and he going to watch. And see, and no. Okay, let me push this over here by him. He said he ain't. All right, go ahead. Call him.
That's all part of it.
Send him a sneaky link.
That's all part of it. That's all part of
Give
it.
him an opportunity.
That's all part of it.
The only thing that can
Encourage
stop
that.
Look,
Encourage
the
that.
only
man.
thing that can stop me is my fear, because I believe what I read. Because I read more. The more you read, the more you're gonna believe, and you're gonna see things that you didn't see 7 years ago.
Yup.
The same chapter.
Facts.
That's just how it is, y'all. I'm telling you.
Facts.
And when it happens,
Facts.
you're gonna be
Excited.
It gets me excited.
Elated. Yo.
Means that I've reached a level of understanding and comprehension.
Facts.
I comprehend more so I can do more. That
Facts.
means God has allowed me to get more information, because
Facts.
he said, okay, you're doing all right, cool,
Facts.
boom. Now you're going to keep this now.
Yeah.
And now you can do it.
Yeah.
That's how he works with you. Yeah, man.
That's a fact.
You gotta read,
That's a
you
fact.
gotta read and do. And keep doing that.
That's a fact.
It said, and it came to pass. God didn't speak to Abraham every day. Now it's his friend.
You can count the time.
After the last time he said that the Most High left off from speaking with Abraham, right? And he said Abraham left off of the mountain because he was in the mountain speaking with God about the Sodom and Gomorrah. Thank you. It was a whole conference. God ain't got a conference with no man about nothing.
That's right.
He do what he want to do. He said, who will question me? Yo, man. I love that. When I read that, I get who? He said, who? No. Look. This is not a man talking. This is God. And he said, I do what I will. Who will question me? Nobody will question me. Not even the devil himself.
Facts.
Nobody gonna
No
question
one
me.
will trust me. No one.
My angel's gonna say, so be it, Lord. And the earth people down there, the humans that I made, that's created, they're gonna criticize me, because that's what we do, criticize God. Criticize our parents. Once you criticize your parents, however you deal with your parents is how you're gonna deal with God.
That's right. That's right.
Because
That's right.
honoring your parents,
That's right.
they're gonna get you in there. That's good training
That's
to
right.
learn how to honor.
That's right.
Because now all those qualities,
That's right.
you're able to do it with the Lord.
That's right. Because that's the only people you fear.
That's the only ones. That's why he said, give it up to them. Give it up to them. Because you're going to face, and another part is say fear.
Fear.
He say honor them. Over here, say be afraid of
That's
them.
right.
Over here, say don't curse them.
That's right.
Watch your words.
Shed no light.
In and out of their presence
Fact.
concerning them.
That's a fact.
That's what honor is.
That's
Right
a
or
fact.
wrong.
That's a
We
fact.
got to watch our mouths with God, because he see and know everything, and he's everywhere.
That's right.
You can't defeat that. That's God.
That's right.
Y'all don't understand what that word G-O-D means. You know what G-O-D means? He's everywhere. Omnipresent. They call it omnipresent. Meaning he is present everywhere at the same time, thousands of years ago, today, and thousands of years later. That's the definition of God. Nobody can do this. Nobody can be in the present. He doesn't go by time. He made this for us. We are governed by that. Okay? Our life and death is governed by time. At a certain time, day and date, this person gonna die. God don't go by those standards.
No.
God don't have no standards.
That's right.
He made the standards for us. Understand what God is. Anything, the biggest, most powerfulest, whatever you can think of, God created it.
He owns it. He's the owner.
Whatever you look up and be amazed, whatever rocks your boat, God made it.
Own it. He do it.
No. To serve you.
Owns it.
He told you have dominion over everything in the earth. Right or wrong?
Facts.
But we bow down to everything in the earth.
Like an
We
idiot.
bow down to everything. We bow down to everything. Bow down to women, bow down to kids, bow down to man because he got money. That's the only time you see a man bow down to another man. Bow to another man. He got something. He got something. All these characteristics, we got a not and have. That's what we look at, Tamshi.
And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did share sheep.
Okay.
And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel and go to Nabal and greet him in my name.
David heard in the wilderness that Nabal shared his sheep. He said, oh, so Nabal is close. He said, he got the bag.
Facts.
We on the run.
Facts.
Need some bread, need some food. He said, and David sent out 10 young men. Okay? 10 men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel, go to Nabal and greet him in my name. Y'all are representing me. Okay? Those 10 men. And that's a powerful thing when you can send 10 men
That follow orders.
to send one message. It only takes one man. You don't see 10 mailmen coming here. But kings and big shots do things like that.
That's right.
To make you see, okay, a big shot. I gotta take this message seriously. Okay, brother. He said, and thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity. Prosperity. Thus you shall say to him that is wealthy.
Okay.
This is a pitch, man. There are times, yo, listen, my man, you the one that got it. I need a helping hand right now. Look. And this ain't to borrow. I ain't got it. I need a handout. Not that much either. It's not all the time a man has it to borrow. He sometimes says, I need help. I need this right now. And I'm not even gonna have it. And look, he's being truthful with you. Okay? Peace be to both to thee, and peace be to your house. Peace be unto all that thou hast. Now I have heard that thou hast sharers. Now I'm gonna skip all of that. What David did is David requested some food. So, look, we've been out here holding your men down, and literally we've been help protecting your stuff since we've been out here. Okay? Nobody came, nobody was able to run down in your stuff while we was here. Look, you don't even know me, I don't know you, but I'm on your property. Nobody's gonna come and touch your stuff while I'm here. This your house. Whatever rules that you tell me is, I'm enforcing it. Okay? I'm a tell. Because it's your rules. I support and honor you, and this is your realm. So, Nabal answered David's servants. I'm down to verse 10. Who is David? Who is son of Jesse? I'm gonna read. There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. He's like, man, who's David? Who's that? I don't know who he is. Like, it could be anybody saying that they David. Everybody breaks away from their master.
Right.
That's his excuse.
Right.
Even though it's true, you got con artists. No, you have con artists. You got people that say, well, look, I'm one of David's servants. And he's not. When you're rich, you got all types of people coming at you. Handouts for this, handouts for that. So you're like, yo, listen, man, who is he? Okay? And who is the son of Jesse? Really, man, there's going to be many servants that come. He's saying whatever he got to say, not to give. Everybody know who David is. Everybody know who the son of Jesse is. Everybody knows that God picked David to be the next king. Even his wife knew, because she said it.
That's right.
His men knew they was out there in the household.
11. Oh, my bad. I forgot summary. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? See, it's not the way it is. Because look, really and all, that's your neighbor. We lived amongst each other. This was before strangers came in. This was before we got scattered among strangers. Down the block is Israelites. Around the corner is Israelites. Across the hall is Israelites. Downstairs is Israelites. over. You understand? This was the community that was back then. So man, you can't give the man something. Plus, he was holding you down. Go see if it's really David. At least that was how I know he was just saying that not to kill. People say things just not to do the right thing,
And they assume.
and they assume until you don't go and find out.
Go ask.
You know how many times I tell people, I say, why you ain't ask me? No, but I thought you were, that's what you thought. I wasn't. Why you ain't asked me, man? Hell, but I thought you was mad with me. Well, I was mad, but I was mad at here about this. I wasn't mad at you. Or I wasn't mad. But you gotta come to me. Whatever you want to find out, go to the source.
That's a fact.
Go to the source.
That's So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told them all those things. And David said unto his men, gird you on every man his sword. And they girded on every
See the
man
first
his
dog came
sword.
David head? He said, oh no. Oh no. Everybody strap up. Lock and load. We're going out there. And they girded on every man his sword.
And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail,